jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. There's everyone that's out there, man, chilling. I know it's about to go down. Wherever you might be, we're about to bring in a simulated next year. You know what I'm saying? It's about to go down this Thursday, man. We have one day left until we change over to a whole nother new year. Shout out to the dang workers that's out there. Everybody's doing fine, hopefully. And had a great Christmas and then make it over safely with everything that's going down with this virus and everything. So the New Year's is upon us, 2022, of course. And being that we are absolutely boxing media segues out here, we're curious to know what's in store for us, man. What is the exits? What are the boxing exits like and the MMA exits, for 2022? What's some stopping points that we can look forward to in 2022? One of them, of course, is what we've been talking about forever in a day, shouty. We've been talking about the Spence and Crawford debacle, the saga. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this back and forth. And the reason why, there's nothing else to talk about because no one really wants to hear about anything else except the back and forth soap opera that's going on with Crawford Spence. Listen, man, look, I am not a Spence hater at all. I'm just speaking, my opinionated views, which isn't based off 100% fact. It's just my opinion on certain things that's involved in this fight. The way I look at it, though, you look at my thumbnail, I put it to you just like this, right? It's a lot that's going on with this Errol Spence and Yadina's Ugas situation behind the scenes. Like, y'all might be very, very disappointed, Errol Spence fans, because if he's unable to make it through fight camp, you're going to be entirely upset about the whole situation. It's nothing else you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Look, if he isn't healthy enough and able to get past this eye injury or any other injuries he may have, that may take him out of the loop or take him out of position to fight for that WBA title. Then it brings in the best pound for pound welterweight out there, Terrence Bud Crawford. He may, in fact, get to step up into that position and beat Yadina Ugas and become the WBA, WBO world champion. That is, look, that's far closer than just a hypothetical, y'all. That can happen because I'm going to be honest, I truly don't think Spence is the same as he was before. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he's the same from an accident like that. I'm talking from experience, bro. I'm speaking to somebody who used to run bikes from the day, the sun up to the day end. I mean, I was very hard in the streets on motorcycles, man. Since high school, bro. I've been in some accidents and had a helmet on where it would knock you noodle doodle. To not have any leathers, a protective riding gear, PPV. You have your protective riding gear on with the helmet. I've witnessed I've witnessed guys die with the helmet on from a damn motorcycle crash, y'all. I've seen it happen. Brains swell up inside the helmet. If the ambulance don't get there, quick enough, you got bleeding on the brain. When you have bleeding on the brain, it leads to tissue damage. And I'm not trying to get into all the medical shit that goes along with it, but it can somehow, some way affect either your short-term memory, or anything. I don't know. Everybody's shit different, but for Errol Spence to land on the concrete without any protective gear, do you think he's 100%? I don't. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to have an eye injury when he's just one fight off his return tells me that this may be something that plagues him the remaining of his boxing career. Though he survived the car accident, there may be soft tissue damage. They may have been neurological damage. For real. This is when I'm serious. Like, I'm not even joking around about this situation. Like, he could have had some serious soft tissue, internal, cerebral damage, to his brain, that he may be experiencing situations behind the scenes that is unspoken. He's not telling anybody about. Only his closest people know. Derrick James may even know. You know what I'm saying? Derrick James may know certain things is going on with Spence he don't want to let on to the public. I hate to be breaking shit down like it's like we're sitting in class and shit, but y'all have to think about this. Y'all talking about him going in there defeating Udinese, and he may not even make it to the fight, bro. Mr. Pass on deck, man. Seawood on deck. Mark Nash on deck, man. WCS, what up? Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year to you and the fam, man. Ugas would definitely come to fight. Yeah, man. Ugas is one of those guys, man, that I know he feels he's being disrespected, but he also knows what I know. Like, he knew Errol Spence had a real, horrific car accident. No one can sit up here and convince me that there's not permanent damage there. No one can convince me that he doesn't have permanent damage. Just because you're able to function and you're still able to walk around cognizantly and you're able to know your left from your right and this, that, doesn't mean that you're not going to be subjected to degradation or debilitation. Over time, your shit starts to degrade. You know what I'm saying? Over time, it starts to degrade. That's what they say when you're a youth. Sometimes you get in certain situations that your body is quickly to recover. But the older you get, it's much more detrimental when you're in a combat sport, because he's in a sport where he's being punched in the head. His car accident, he landed on his head. All that in combination of, you're going to find yourself going through some things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not placing this on Errol Spence. I'm just saying it's a possibility that he's a damaged fighter. So he may not even make it to the fight with Udinese Ugas. You know what I'm saying? For me, I might. It might be in my best interest to start promoting Terrence Crawford versus Udinese Ugas for the WBA World Welterweight title. And the Spencerholics, they will appreciate that shit right there. Maybe I should just start promoting that. Like, they pushing Boots to fight Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I need to sit up here and promote Terrence Crawford versus Ugas, because it's highly possible that it may happen. Errol Spence eye injury, you're not going to really understand if it's totally healed until he starts feeling those gloves. Man. He has to spar. If you want to go in here against Udinese Ugas with no sparring and take that risk, good luck. We're going to end up seeing Crawford Udinese Ugas. For the undisputed, Ugas gonna be riding on a motherfucking cloud you can find in Cuba. He look, Ugas is trying to do something that Luis Ortiz was trying to make history at when he fought Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do something different. Mr. Pass said, WCS, if the fight between the two don't happen in 2022, I give up on both of them. Tired of caring about this fight. Do you agree with my sentiment or do you have a different view? Well, first of all, your sentiment makes all the sense in the world from the first to the last character, right? So, it's only right that if you give it a whole nother 12 months, a full calendar year of frustration, and we're nowhere closer than we were in 2021, 2020, 2019, I can totally understand where your mindset is right now. I can totally get it, bro. I totally understand where your mindset is to be frustrated and not giving a damn about talking about this shit if we don't even become remotely close. Like, let's say, for instance, he doesn't make it to the Ugas fight, but yet and still, Terrence Crawford is unable to face Ugas for the WBA title. That would frustrate me too. Like, I'm saying to myself, like, I'm truly frustrated because whenever this fight decides to come around, let's just say Errol Spence is out, Terrence Crawford in, boom, fight happened. He's able to pick up his second title. At least we know the fight may potentially happen sometime now because we have 2-2, just like we had with Jorge Ramirez and Josh Taylor. Both fighters will have a belt. Plural. So only thing we have to do next is make the fight. Then it comes into the negotiation process. But I get it, bro. I get it. I totally understand where you come from. Make all the sense in the world, man. This makes all the sense in the world. Mark said, me too. That's why I don't ride either. I thought you was a Bud Crawford fan there, Mark. What are you talking about? You switched up? If Bud signs back to Top Rank, it won't. Dion Washington on deck. What's good, Dion? Goddamn educated, community, influential role player in the community, man. Much respect to you, bro. Real talk. All joking aside, bro. Respect what you do over there, man. Seriously. Retro boxing and documentary. God damn. Retro boxing and documentaries is on deck, dog. Look at that title, dog. I get it. Retro boxing and documentaries. Okay. Ugas is a very solid fight, balanced skill set. Spence is not the fighter he used to be, in my opinion. Hey, I agree with you there, Retro. It's hard for people to understand, though. They trying to overlook it and smooth it over. But unless you've been in situations like that where you had an accident or you've seen individuals have an accident, I'm telling you, I seen one of my troops get. I know this is quite different, but he was in a car accident, and his brain was swelling up on the inside, so they had to cut a portion of his skull off and let his brain swell up. So all that time he couldn't get no visitors, right? And when I finally went up there and seen him, and it was all doing like he was actually on restriction. He's supposed to be in the barracks. He linked up with some other service members, went out there, ended up being hit by a car. Now you saying, he got hit by a car, but really it's almost the same thing with the impact. Believe me. So when I finally went up there, he was looking. I went in the room. I said, hey, what's up? Nobody in that damn hospital briefed me as to the extent. This dude is just looking straight ahead. I said, hey, what's up? I'm trying to carry on the conversation. How you doing, man? You look good. He didn't say nothing. And then finally a nurse came in there and said, hey, there's no need for you to talk to him because he can't understand nothing you're saying. He's going to be like that the rest of his life. Like, he was even yarning and stuff like that. But you can see all the scars in his head and stuff. Like I said before, I've seen multiple individuals die on motorcycles. And they had gear on. I've seen them. So I'm just curious how Spence have such a severe accident like that, and people walking around like he's okay because he was able to get through the Danny Garcia fight. Telling you, bro, just because he didn't feel it or he didn't show any ill will signs of in that fight with Danny Garcia, I don't think he's 100% when it comes down to it. Retro Boxing said, yes, sir. Dion Washington say blood. I see you've been working hard. Keep that foot on him. Yeah, Dion, you know what it is, man. Taking advantage of the holidays, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's all about family, though. So since, family is around at the time, I have a little bit more time. I miss Wilder, though. I'm waiting for Wilder to come back to the scene. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, but this is a solid example. Yeah, man, it's just a solid example. But you're talking to people who really can't relate to what I'm talking about. Like, I have my receipts. Like, I was in those streets on a bike. I even wrecked myself. I've seen enough to understand that if you can crash with a helmet on and die, imagine what you can do in a sports car being ejected out of a soft top that was back and convertible, and you landing on the pavement and you're not even conscious when you hit. Sometimes they always tell you this in a race, right? Let's just say, for instance, it's been some service members that wreck on a motorcycle that was intoxicated, and the reason why they lived was because of the alcohol level. Because they really didn't understand what was ahead. Like when you get ready to crash on a motorcycle, your legs tighten up to the gas tank. Your left and right hand squeezes the left and right levers, and you be prepared for impact. You get prepared for, right? But when you're intoxicated, you're not prepared for anything because you're just so loose, and your mind and body is in a whole nother era. When you do have the accident, sometimes your body is just so loose. When you hit the ground, you're not trying to stop yourself, and you just roll over and roll over. And you might have some broken bones, but you will survive. As if you were sober, you hit. You're trying to prepare yourself. You're trying to avoid this and that. And really, the fright alone of you trying to stand up and get you ran over by another car, all that shit. Seen it happen. Shout out to my good Japanese friend Takazu. I seen my boy Takazu get ran over by 2 cars, man. He's a beast. Oh man. I just look at it like, why is it so difficult to understand that Spence may not be the same? He may not even make it in here, your Dennis Ugas, bro. Damn, that's very sad that he says you know him before the damage, and now you're seeing him with it. Got to be hard mentally. I was just kind of upset on the reason why he went out there anyway. He was on restriction for an alcohol-related incident. He snuck out and went over there drunk, and tried to cross the street and was smashed to the point where it knocked his shoes and pants off, and dude was like damn near butt naked from the waist down. He got hit so hard. But this is the dude that we used to joke around a lot. We'd be in the field. He was my troop, though. He used to joke around a lot to him being a vegetable for the rest of his life. Dion said neurologically he didn't look like he did from Porter to Garcia. I'm telling you, man, like, you're talking about the left and right hand delegating punishment, authoritating or inflicting damage on your opponent by landing strikes and punches to the head. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. We're talking about head, though. How many boxing matches you see where there's 0 punches to the head? And I said this when Spence was injured. I said, damn, he's in a crazy predicament. Because if he had any other profession than boxing, then maybe he can get the treatment that he need. He can take time off, this, that, and the other. But he's in a combat sport where he's taking punishment to the head. The same area where he was severely damaged from a car accident. And people just sitting up here acting like he's 100% and he's going to be in there, he's going to fly through fight camp. No, he has to get through fight camp. The eye injury Come on, we can come up with a whole lot of stuff for the eye injury. You know, he may be a fragile individual right now from that accident. He may not be able to go through a full blown hard ass training camp with all those weeks that he used to go through with sparring. He might have a short career right now. That's not hate. That's just shit that can potentially come out in the future, y'all. Errol Spence can be a damaged fighter right now, continue to get punched in the head, and he may end up in a bad way. No way am I going to compare him to Gerald McClellan or Pritchard Colon or Donna Stevenson. I'm not doing that because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going through that extreme. All I'm saying is some of these fighters that passed away out of nowhere in boxing, they was cleared to box. They was cleared to box. And everything else that happened in the ring, boom, they end up the way they did. They end up going through a severe injury or even death. Retro say, I know you have a layer of experience in life. I can tell, big bro. Yeah, I've been around the world, man. You know, I'm happy to still be living. Real talk. Because, you know, I had to make a decision, you know, raise a family or be in the streets with bikes that's going to send you to heaven quick. I didn't really look at it like that. My adrenaline, my level of adrenaline is higher than most. You know what I'm saying? So being overseas, running with the Japanese, learning what I did over there. But anyway, not to get off topic, I just look at it like this, right? Not to be a hater, to be called a hater, but I know I'm a high critic. You know what I'm saying? I'm a active critic of Spence right now. I've been that way for a while, but I'm just saying, if y'all are looking at him potentially drinking outside the ring before he had the accident, then some of the situations he may be experiencing right now, allegedly or possibly, may contribute to him having these injuries too. He might have pain that he has to go through on a daily basis from those injuries he received. I know he put out a tweet and said, you know, no broken bones, I'm a savage. Yeah, that's all well and good to put that out to your fans, but you should have left it up. You should have left that shit up. You need to repost it. Because I got the tweet. But see, it's not up to me to throw arrows and shit with goddamn dart frog poison on the tip of it. I'm just saying, like, hey, I remember the text the tweet he sent out. I remember it. And they made him take that shit down. He said it was amazing he was cleared. Hey man, you can get cleared for damn near anything with boxing, man. I've seen dudes come off the couch that they didn't have full mobility in both legs. Man, I done seen some shit, dog. Fighters not having all their medical paperwork. It's boxing, dog. Boxing is just like, I say it's the wild, wild west in the jungle, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just like being in the jungle and you have only the ammunition that you came in here with, just like combat. When you go outside the wire in combat, you have your certain supply of ammo that's on you, on your persons, and then you run out. You have to wait that you meet up with a supply point to get more ammo. The only thing you probably have is a K-bar. Michael Johnson Boxing talking more on deck. What's good with you, bro? He said, man, that McClellan and Nigel Ben fight was heartbreaking. That video of Ben meeting McClellan years later as well. Bro, you ain't never lied, dog. I'm not even gonna lie, man. When I look at that shit, it's an emotional setting, man. Any man that sit up here and say they fuck with boxing and they look at the brain damage that was inflicted and the residual effect that it had on Jerry McClellan. I mean, a tough. Oh my God. Man, they was banging, boy. Them dudes was throwing in that motherfucker, dog. And I know Ben. It's not a night he goes to sleep. He doesn't think about that moment that he was in the ring with him. He doesn't think about that moment you just mentioned. It's not a moment goes by that he's not processing all of it. Like, damn, dog. And then the fact that McLean turned to his sister, like, this guy right here, he tried to kill me. He tried to kill me, didn't he? That right there, oh my God. Like, let's just say, for instance, just take out the street shit. Just take everything you experienced in life, and you had some friends that may have lost their lives to the street. Let's just take away that. Let's just put it in perspective of these two being elite fighters, and somebody saying that, like, this is not street stuff where you see one of your friends get shot and he survived, but yet they're in a wheelchair, or they brain, they have brain damage because they survived a headshot. Survive, probably a physical altercation, whatever the case. That's not like that. These two guys was throwing hands. They was trying to break each other's will. And I'm not saying that may potentially happen to Spence, if indeed he has an underlying issue, right? Because be honest, like, real talk, bro. Spence has a family. Like I said, I'm not trying to come hard to dude like that, because I'm a person that lost a kid. I lost my first son. So what the criticism I have of Spence is just layered up with boxing. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's public record? His shit is public record from having an accident. But I'm just saying, like, you had an incredible accident, and we see these individuals, these top tier athletes, dying from CTE. So if you think it's CTE only has to happen when you're in a impact sport, a full contact sport, no, CTE can be something from a head injury, a head trauma, and then your brain tissue never recover. And then you start having certain signs, seeing stars, whatever the case may be, acting out domestically with violence. It's so many areas. Your brain is so precious, man. I don't want to put no so-called omen on Spence. It's public record that he had an accident. I'm just talking from a person who's seen certain things and been in certain things with high impact situations. How long it took me to recover, how long it took some of these other cats to recover, and some that couldn't recover. Then you have athletes going out here committing suicide because of CTE. You know what I'm saying? Not everything can be discovered, especially if you're not getting tests over and over again. Like, if you feeling a certain way, like Spence, like, he's feeling a certain way, he feel healthy, he feel like, oh, I know who that guy is. That's my boy. I know who he is. That's my boy. He know how to put, right from wrong. He know how to link up and put faces, names to faces and all that shit. But then you have to understand that he's constantly in boxing, though. So him continuing to compete in the professional contact sport may enhance his degradation over a period of time. It may speed it up, dog. He may have an episode where he act out. He ain't trying to act out, but him being punched in the head and having that car accident, amongst other, collateral variables that's out there. I mean, it can go all bad for Spence. He may not make it through this fight camp to step in the ring with Ugas. It's highly possible, bro. Anyone who's a Spencerholic fan understands that I'm being sincere about that shit. I know they don't want to talk about it because they want to act like the accident never fucking happened, or sweep it under the damn dumpster. No, the accident happened, and the accident ain't going nowhere. That was a bad accident, dog. McLean basically became deaf as well. His career has to yell loudly in his ear like 10 times for him to process it. So sad to see. Damn. It make you look at being a doctor like a lot more serious, huh? That's why not anybody can be a doctor on the highest level, especially when it comes to brain surgeons and all that, psychologists. Because look, a psychologist, they go in there and they have all these consults and they have all these sessions. They making very good money. They end up becoming crazy themselves. They're talking to people who have situations psychologically. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Jared McClean, man. Naja Ben. I know it's not a day that, I'm checking out these guys like Pritchard Cologne and I'm looking at his fight, how he can, constantly was getting hit behind the head. I check out the Subriel Matias fight and Maxim Dedashev, how Buddy McGirt was pleading with him and say, "Hey Max, I'm stopping the fight, Max. No, I'm good. No, Max. No, Max. I got to stop the fight, Max. I gotta do it, Max." He didn't no. And all Max is thinking about is his career, is doing it for his family, man. And Buddy McGirt, it ain't a day he don't go by. It ain't a day he doesn't wake up that he think about Maxim. That was his fighter, bro. It's not a day go by that he don't think of that. Derrick James, he knows what it is when he got that call. Derrick James think about that. Derrick James is paying even more close attention to Errol Spence when he gets in the fight camp and starts sparring. For someone who used to be a fighter, of course, he's scrutinizing everything about Errol Spence, how he's moving, what he used to see when he was training for Spence, and shit like that, to after the accident, training for Danny Garcia, even this fight. He's looking at all that. Now, where it becomes an honorable decision is if Derrick James sees something that is absolutely not right. Either he chooses to speak to Errol about it, or he let it go because he feel like he doesn't want to place his fighter in a situation where he's doubting himself. Like, damn, coach is seeing it, but I'm not feeling it. Coach is seeing it, but I'm not feeling it. I feel like I'm good. Everything I'm moving around, my shit seems fluent. Man, I feel like I'm in rhythm and my footwork is there. But coach is like, no, man, like, your sparring partner shouldn't be landing on you like that, man. You're not moving your head. The Spence, he feel like he's, okay, I'm good. But what Derrick James is seeing from the outside, like, no, dude, you in trouble. That might have been the video that was released that time where he was getting touched up by a sparring partner. That might have been one of those times where they had to do tests. And I'm gonna put another thing out there. I truly don't just believe he had an eye injury. I don't. Like, once again, I'm not trying to drive no end of the year dagger in on Errol Spence, because I hear people say all the time, hey, WCS. I don't feel like going through it, dog. They're like they can't get nobody credit for shit. I ain't looking for it. But I'm just telling you, it's certain things when I'm on the outside looking in, with what happened to Errol Spence in his accident, his eye may not have been all it was out to be. He's the most popular dude on planet Earth, and people are gonna tune in to everything he does. So, just like in tactics, just like in combat tactics, sometimes you put something out that has absolutely nothing to do with the target, but what you're doing is putting it in a place where you draw the person that you really want into that. Numerous of them, you draw them to that damn target location. So instead of killing one, you end up killing more than one. This may have been an indirect, I wouldn't say it was a ploy. It might have been something else that's attached to that eye injury that they had to make sure get completed too. Because for him to look that bad in sparring with a sparring partner, it don't matter if it's a Manny Pacquiao lookalike or not. God damn it! For him to look that bad and getting touched up the way he did, I mean, your brain has a lot to do with your coordination, don't it? Right? It does, right? People always want to talk about me using $6 words, right? But check this out. Pugilistica, right? Pugilistica is a real thing, bro. Dementia is a real thing. People die from dementia. People don't even understand why humans dementia. All it's doing is taking away. Yeah, it's taking away your brain functionality. If you're unable to take care of yourself, your health is going to decline. It's boxers who have fought in a career, developed stages of pugilistica, got the slurred speech, and then they should just decline from there. And then they end up dying early. You say, what? How's this? How are they dying this early? What? And then you have to understand, even football players, they're in a full contact sport. Their brain, just like Deontay Wilder has mentioned several times, their brain is not meant to be hit. The head is not meant to be hit like that. But we have plenty of sports where you have full contact. You know what I'm saying? Football. I mean, football back in the day, you used to see guys leaving their feet to make a helmet hit. Leaving their feet, y'all. Ronnie Lott, you had dudes leaving their feet to make a helmet. You think they didn't get eat from that shit? Anyway. Yeah, he sure brought tears to Nigel eyes. Absolutely, man. Deion Washington, glad others noticed that his presentation was different. Napoleon, salute to you. What's good? What's up with you? Just, I gauge it where I'm not gonna sit up here and try to talk malicious about this. Yeah, we have two sides of the spectrum of media who support their fighter, right? But when it comes down to situations like this, no way, shape, or form, I want to see Spence, who has has kids and stuff like that. No way I want to see him go out here and see him the way he was, and then see him slowly degrade and jump back on here and say, you know what, I told you so. I told you. Or even in a fight, when I'm looking at the shit play out in front of our eyes, he's not moving the way he should. There could be underlying issues. I'm not going to get on here and point the finger and laugh. I mean, we're not perfect, man. We sin every day, bro. But I'm just saying, for Spence, I really hope, everything is cool. But I'm doubtful. I'm seriously doubtful that Spence can potentially make it to fight camp. This is a tough fight for him, man. This is a tough fight. You saw how Udenis Ugas looked against Porter. You saw how Ugas looked against Pacquiao. This is a tougher fight for Errol Spence. I'm not really talking much on it because Spence is fighting for the belt. So it's up to Spence to come in 100% healthy and be able to come in there with a game plan and get the job done. What I don't appreciate is people believing that Errol Spence is this knockout artist again, when clearly he has demonstrated that he isn't a knockout artist. He has the potential to break his opponent down, but he isn't a knockout artist. That's fair. So last time I checked, I haven't seen Ugas laid out on the canvas just doing nothing, drooling and what ref? What's going on? Let me fight, ref. You're still on your back, son. The fight is over. No, I got it, ref. I got it. Nope, I haven't seen that. So I think it's going to be a damn good fight. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. Now, once again, it's boxing. I'm hoping that Ugas isn't cashing out because boxing can be influential for the wrong reasons too. When I say that, some fights that you want to see play out for the fighter that you're going for doesn't. Perfect example. I won't even go to Charles Martin, Anthony Joshua. I won't even go to that. Let's say, what would be a good point of reference in this fight? Champion wise, what would be a good point of reference? Can't use Miguel Berchelt because he got slept fairly. That was a fair one right there. That was an absolute fair one. I would say the Callum Smith situation with Canelo Alvarez. He wasn't planning on staying at that division any longer. You know what I'm saying? The Callum Smith situation. He cashed out. You know what I'm saying? The Tyrone Woodley shit cashed. I'm trying to think of some fights, man, that we knew clearly that the fight was going to go. You know, this opposition would have a damn good chance of winning, but they end up going out. Which fight is on the team, man? Damn. What's that fight? What's that fight? You know, a part of me says Jason Rosario, dog. You know what I'm saying? Seeing him percolate like that off a jab, bro. I don't know what the fuck was going on with Jason Rosario, man. Like, it's been in boxing forever and a day. Like, certain fights you think is gonna play out fairly, their influence. It's fighters that they get predetermined results, and people don't never want to talk about it because they're not close to it. How you gonna talk about something you ain't close to? Like, you can get behind the mic and talk about views all you want. I really don't give a fuck about all the people that talk about your channel get this amount of views. How much knowledge off experience do you have? So when you hear me say some shit like this, you yourself can either deny it or you can agree with it because you have been in the same situation. I've seen amateur fighters get robbed for no freaking reasons just because they need to even out the belts or they fighting somebody else's backyard. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen kids jump out the ring crying and stuff because they thought they was going to take home a belt. They get robbed in the AMs, man. Look, after seeing so many amateur fights, I shot a 21 fight card by my damn self before. That's the most I ever shot in an amateur fight. So, you know, I don't really give a damn what people say that, you know, WCS saying this, that, and the other. A lot of shit I'm just talking off what I experienced. My catalog speaks for itself. I done been down there with the youngins all the way up to the top promotions. Even at the top promotions, I've seen fighters get gloved up and there was nobody there. But when it comes down to the shit that the commission is everywhere and they doing this, all you have to do is go to the more recent fight with Maestro Fox. If that's not clear enough for you to understand that there's a high potential for corruption, okay, cool. But back to the topic, though. Back to the topic. I hope nobody doesn't get offended by my thumbnail that say Team Crawford, I am not ready. Look, dog, don't take that shit personal because a lot of people are trying to come at me as if I'm the only Bud fan. You know what I'm saying? They tell me, these people here tell me, see, that's the difference between me and you. I don't get lashed on the fighters. What are you then? Because you a fan if you see Bud Crawford and you ask him, God damn, like you rocking hard with Spence, right? You see Bud Crawford and you say, hey man, can I get a pick? Because I done seen a lot of y'all. I'm not coming on here to snitch, you know, to sit up here and be a chatty patty. I done seen a lot of y'all see Crawford in person. Hey champ, can I get a picture, champ? Deontay Wilder, champ, can I get a picture? But they'll sit up here and say they're not dick riders. They be quick. You're a dick rider, dog. No, I'm a fan and a media segue. That's all I am. I'm not breaking bread with Crawford. I never broke bread with Deontay Wilder nor T.O. You know what I'm saying? I have broken bread with Michael Williams Jr. though. And that's, when you talk about the team, I give a big shout out to them. I learned a lot off that team, man. When we go out, it's like a family, bro. People always say dick riders because they never been with a team, especially to see a legend. I had the opportunity to roll with Williams and be in the company of Roy Jones Jr. outside of the ring, dog. So I can understand why people want to sit up here and spread that vitriol my way. Because they knew it's a lot of body of work that I have. But since my channel ain't big, they think that I'm dissatisfied. I'm cool with it. Like the cats that's in my chat right now, I'm cool with it. They can talk whatever they talk. They can be Bud fans, or they can be Errol Spence fans. I know I got grown people in my chat. Majority of the ones that pull up are grown ass individuals and they think for themselves. I don't want individuals coming here trying to jump on anything that they think I got going and say, I want to be a part of the group. I don't need any group. Look up Lou Garou. That's what I am, Lou Garou. Retro say Napoleon Armstrong, all good, my brother. Happy New Year. Yeah, man. Happy New Year to y'all in the chat, man. Appreciate the ones who supported the channel and continue to do so. In my opinion, Spence has enough left for Ugas, whom I've never been really impressed by. Just 2 fights ago, he was out on his feet against some dude who I don't even know. Who was the dude you was talking about just 2 fights ago? Who are you speaking of? Let me since we got time there, big dog. Let me try to pull this up. Who are you speaking about? Let me try to pull this up right quick. Udenis Ugas 27 victories, 4 defeats, 12 coming by way of knockout. Okay. So you talking about who? Ramos? And that fight with Sean Porter, it could have went down as a win for Ugas, but that would have messed up the bag. So I'm glad Napoleon kind of took me to this direction because it's another example. I'm definitely trying to get out to the public on my thought process, right? So let's just look at it this way. Like when I always bring up Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., when the fight with Gennady was already signed, that's a perfect example when it comes to boxing, y'all. Don't sit up here and act like boxing. You don't think that's something that's predetermined? Hell yeah, it's predetermined. So look at this fight right here. Sean Porter wasn't going to lose to no Udenis Ugas that day. They told him, make it to the final bell. We good. We got the Spence fight coming up. You good. You good, big dog. Don't worry about all that other shit. You make it to the final bell, you get in a Spence fight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why Sean Porter fought the way he did. Because all he had to do was make it to the final bell. That's called predetermined. Some would call it fixed. They hate to hear that word, fixed. But it plays a very important role in boxing. Fixed doesn't have to be like Bruce Seldon, Mike Tyson. All right. It doesn't have to be Ali Liston. It doesn't have to be that type. Fix can be something more subtle because boxing is a business and you want these 2 fighters to get to. That's exactly what I'm talking about with Crawford and Spence. There's no room for Boots Ennis in between the bag. If you sat here and been patient about certain fighters fighting one another, and they was a top tier names like Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, why would another name come into the equation when we have a rematch coming up, when we have a trilogy coming up? The only reason that Deontay Wilder fought somebody else, or freaking Tyson Fury fought somebody else, because he wasn't ready to step in for a media rematch. But the shit like that happens all the time, man. When you see fighters like, damn, did I just see that? Like, that doesn't look real. That doesn't look authentic right there. Like, yeah, you seeing what I'm saying? Like that punch looked like it didn't land, i.e. Amir Khan and Ivan Redkach. Predetermined fights happen all the time in boxing. You know that. Chad Perez on deck. What's good with you? I just wanted the best for the sport. I see a lot more signs of ducking from Spence. Started with, we know Thurman didn't want to fight him when he wasn't the champ, but Spence said no need later. When it comes to Spence, I try not to bring up the Duck Masters Coalition, but I have put Spence on the Duck Masters Coalition. I ain't gonna lie, because I felt some type of way about how he went about grown man shit, dog. GMS. I learned that as a kid. OG told me GMS. Remember that. Understand if you dealing with somebody that's about that. Grown man shit. All right? You got it? You have Errol Spence going around here holding grudges just because he couldn't get the attention he wanted from Keith Thurman when he was champion. And then when he's in a whole nother situation, all this on Errol Spence's mind is, nope, he didn't want to fight me when I was calling him out. So why he think I'm gonna fight him? That's so childish, man. That shit juvenility at its best, bro. That shit is best, dog. The Charlo brothers, both of them, refusing to give Demetrius Andrade because he wanted to increase the bag. And that's a bit different. That's a little bit different because Andrade pretty much, he made some dealings with Rock Nation. His was a bit more business disaster, so to speak. It got messy for Andrade, but still, how long it's been? 8-9 years. Petty, shawty. How can you have two petty fighters in Texas in the same stable that's doing the same exact thing? Errol Spence don't want to get Keith Thurman the fight. Now he don't have the titles, and then we still got Andrade, Jamel Charlo. Whenever Andrade was moving up the freaking 60, Mel and Ma was on the phone. Hey, bro, don't do it, bro. Don't give him no shot, bro. We know how we do it. We the Charlo brothers, bro. Don't give him no shot, bro. Lines only in this motherfucker. Lines only. When we want to eat, we're going to eat, nigga. No, motherfucker, we ain't give him no shot. Both of them stick together and act the same exact way, bro. For real. Exact same way. Childish as shit. This is it seemed like the door is closing. It seemed like we're getting closer to this fantasy fight. Like it was said early, bro. If we go all 22, if Errol Spence comes out this fight, he makes it to the fight, first of all. He wins the belt. If he's talking 70-30, he don't want the fight. If Errol Spence is going to let 10%, if he talking 70-30, Spence don't want the fight. Real talk. Because what he believes is going to happen is the individuals that's out here jumping up and down and serenading him with support. He believes that his fan base is going to be able to convince everyone that Crawford didn't want the fight. But how are you going to have a fight that's been in the cooker? That shit has been in the cooker for years, and say, I've fought 60% with Mikey,
you know, you know, um, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. I'm trying to elevate my percentage. I want to do 70-30 with Crawford. I don't think Crawford is going to take that shit. I don't think he's going to come close to taking that shit. Why should Crawford take 70-30 as if he's done nothing? This ain't no boxing boot camp. If I was there as an advisor for Spence, I would get fired because it'll come to a point where if he has 3 belts and he's up there talking that 70-30, that's the day that he would terminate me because I'll be like, Spence, you can live to fight another day, but you want to at least get in the ring to prove to the boxing public who's the better fighter pound for pound. This means you go in there and beat Crawford, you surpass him on the pound for pound list. It's no more talk, no more question on who's better between you and Crawford. But you're going to sit it out on 70-30 without showing the fans, without going in there and giving us a performance there, Spence. That's what you're saying? You don't want to give us anything except social media content. That's all you want to do. You want to give us social media content, right? Fuck all that. We need to see a performance. If you better than Crawford, go in there and prove it. All the lips and tongues that I hear out here, you need to understand that too. If your boy comes around here and get this belt and start talking 70-30, he flat out coalition, he don't want the fight. Because there's no way you're going to allow 10% to keep you out the ring against a fighter that's been in the conversation, been in your division, on the pound for pound list as compeers, and you're going to sit up here and say, nah, 70-30. I ain't budging. Well, guess what? You're a motherfucking duck, dog. You are a duck. We need to see the motherfucking fight. That's what we need to see. Point blank, we need to see this fight. Give us the performance. If you're better than Crawford, it will show out in the ring, period. We will get a determination. Then everybody that was an Errol Spence voice out here, you can be able to talk your shit as much as you want to. You can be able to create and work on your masterclass thumbnail game and goddamn go in here and do lives and have the largest panel ever. And y'all can all serenade each other and joy and jubilee, goddammit. He did it. Ah, I got some money, yeah. I'm glad I got that money because that was my mortgage money. But he did it though. I just want to get everybody on the panel. I want to get your, I want to get your feedback from the panel. We're going to start over here. And what do you think? They're going to look, the panels are going to be hot. So y'all should think about that, man. Think about pushing your boy and tell him, giving him some damn suggestions, right? Some helpful hints, some sound advice to make it fair for both of them to get in the ring and then go in there and prove to us that he's better than Terrence Crawford. Because I don't think he is. I don't think Errol Spence is better than Terrence Crawford, period. I don't think his fans have total confidence in him beating Terrence. And I don't think Errol himself believes he can beat Terrence Crawford. He know that's going to be a tough one. Any one of y'all thinking, it's a possibility he goes in. Stop it. Y'all was up here saying that damn Sean Porter is going to be in that position. If he fights him on the inside, he might get stopped. Shut up, dog. Stop talking that clown ass shit, man. I wish, sometimes, when I come across the Bible, right? I be wanting to say, God, why you didn't bless me with mind reading? That's all I ever asked for. If you can do it right now, please. Because I'm just trying to see what some of these dudes are thinking on here. Just bless me one time. It's been raining out. Just allow that shit to come down and just a little bit of the lightning hit me and allow me to be able to mind read. Because then when I get on the panel, I can really know what a motherfucker think about me. You know what I'm saying? Just God bless me with mind reading. So I can really know the doubt that they have about Errol Spence stepping there with Terrence Crawford. I'd be like, Keon, you're not sure, dog. You sure? How you know that? Because you just thought about it. You know the accident fucked him up. You're not sure of his skill set. You're not sure if he's able to go in there and get the job done. You're not sure yourself. God bless me. He the only one blessed me in YTC. Now I can mind read. Y'all done. You know what they'll say then? You know what? Don't invite that dick ride over there because motherfucker, he got struck by lightning and shit ain't right with him, dog. He was saying some shit that I was actually thinking about. Shit ain't right with him, dog. We can't have a Bud fan over here when we having a Spence panel and a nigga know everything we thinking about, dog. That's fucked up. Now he truly knows. I don't have the confidence that Errol Spence can beat Bud Crawford, man. He knows. Happy holidays, y'all, man. I'm just fucking around, dog. Oh my God, dog. Why Thurman was the unified champion? Absolutely. But look, it was kind of crazy right there, Chad, when they was all on the panel and shit, right in front of the camera. And Errol Spence saying, yo, I like to, be able to fight Thurman. And Thurman ignored him, man. And then he called the man a little boy. I didn't agree with that shit, dog. I thought Thurman was on some bullshit that day. He said, yeah, I used to see this young boy. I'm like, no, bro, y'all grown ass men. What the fuck you think? What are you talking about, Thurman? He just sit up there and just ignored the fuck out of Spence, man. Didn't even give him the time of day to even consider it. So you know what? Maybe in the future, I'll think about it. But he didn't give him shit, dog. Y'all know the Spence fans got quiet after Porter. And with boots looming, as soon as the WBA got paid off and they knew Spence versus Ugas was on instead of Bud, they got loud again. Bud Debo out ya. For real. Talk your shit, Napoleon. Bud Debo out here. Hey, when he around, I'll be quiet. When he leave, I'll talk again. That's a good one, dog. That's a good solid, bro. Bud Debo out here. For real. See, one thing about this movement that's going on with the Spence puppeteers, right? Is that they truly believe that their entire organization has a voice that is relevant in the YTC. Because there's a lot of them out there that's vouching for Errol. And they be getting mad. They be calling you bitch ass nigga. Oh, they be calling you all sorts of names and shit. Because you're not riding with the most popular nigga on planet Earth per destiny. You know what I'm saying? They get mad as shit. They get angry, boy. But they're not keeping the 100. They're not keeping it real out this motherfucker when it comes to what Napoleon just said. They're not. Because all of a sudden, you get step aside money. Then he gets the fight that he couldn't get with Pacquiao. Pacquiao loses, messes that shit up because I'm pretty sure Spence was hoping and dreaming that he can get Pacquiao on his resume. But Udenis Ugas did. You know what I'm saying? So Udenis Ugas has Sean Porter. He has Sean Porter on his resume. And he has Manny fucking Pacquiao. He just has more losses than Spence. But he has Manny Pacquiao in his record. Dog, he has Manny Pacquiao. So head into this fight after paying step aside money, it might not be easy work for Spence. It may not be easy work. And for the Spence puppeteers to start reaching out with rubber arms and grabbing a hold of Boot's name and putting him into the equation, the conversation to say, yeah, Boots, it's no other fighter that should fight Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, he doesn't have a fight, does he? Well, he just finished fighting Sean. He doesn't have no fight coming up. Boots doesn't have no fight coming up. It only makes sense that those two fight each other. But did you read the article where Bozy Ennis said he totally understands that, he understands that boxing deals with politics and he want to make the most money. So if Bozy Ennis understands it, why isn't the rest of y'all with two ears, one to the left flank and right flank? If you can read with your two eyes, why can't you sit up here and agree with what he's saying and stop pushing for the Boots fight? It's not happening, Spence puppeteers. I told you this yesterday. Why are you wasting oxygen to close out 21 on a fight that's not going to happen in 22? You think these promoters, you're trying to locate where Crawford's going to go. You're trying to predict his next move. You think they just going to throw all that shit away and say, you know what? The Spence and Crawford situation is too much. It's too complex right now. Why don't we just throw Boots in there? I told you what happened right when I was in conversation. It's like, they asked, who is Boots? Like, what has he done? Why should he be the one to step in when we're trying to make millions? We're trying to make millions off this fight. We're trying to build up this fight the right way. We're trying to give it as maximum. We're trying to maximize the promo as possible. That's what you can do with Crawford Spence. Maximize the promo. Maximize the promo. You ain't gonna be able to maximize anything to the general public by putting Boots in the equation to fight Crawford. It don't fucking matter. Garages are empty all the time. It's just a matter of time for the homeowner to come and park their car in the garage. You ain't tripping if you drive by and see the garage up and say, oh my God, there's no car in there. Anyone call 911. There's no car in the garage. That's what they acting like. Just because Terrence Crawford don't have a fucking fight and Boots don't have a fight, they will have names show up sooner or later. I also heard that a certain individual was speaking to Team Crawford, and they said that, Terrence Crawford needs to rest up. I absolutely on board with that. I absolutely agree. If you're the king of the welterweight division, the king rest up. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then he has the servants come over there and feed him some grapes, some cheese and crackers and shit like that. It's nothing wrong with resting up. Why should Bud Crawford be in a rush? Errol Spence should be in a rush. That's who should be in a rush, dog. Boxing can be so delirious at times because people will say, okay, WCS, I hear you criticizing Spence for fighting in one division. And then they make up a thumbnail about Marvelous Hagler. Oh my God. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You going to compare Spence to Hagler? It get totally delirious, bro. Like, this shit is becoming a fictional story every day. Like, we're talking about fictional shit. We're talking about stuff that is not even close to coming to fruition. But we're just talking about countless plots, countless storylines, countless scenes of drama as the plot thickens type shit. That's all we're talking about. Thank God. You know what fucks me up sometime? I'm fucked up because I wasn't the one to see the growth of the YTC. So I should have created a thumbnail app. I would have been sitting over here drinking the finest wine. Got to go ahead and make a thumbnail, y'all. I would have been putting out shit. You know they about to fight, right? Who? Crawford and Spence. When? Next week. Thumbnail. Shit, I just watch my shit grow. Damn. Hey, make sure they tell them to get that WCS thumbnail app, okay? I want y'all to goddamn be plentiful. Tell me what I need to improve in it, and I'm gonna make sure I get it right for you. That's what I should have did. I should have went into the business of thumbnails. That's why I love your channel, man. You welcome others' opinion. No, it's all good, man. That's what it's about. You know, majority of the people that come over here, they talk their shit. You know, it'd be quality, conducive boxing talk. King Mitch on deck. What's good? Abel Ramos is the dude that had him on his feet. Okay, out on his feet late in the fight. All right, I got you. That's what I thought. I said Ramos. You know, good shit, man. Appreciate the info. Appreciate the info. Education is 24/7. Why was Spence fighting Pac when Pac had the WBA regular and Ugas had the super? All a money game. They're trying to make every excuse to not fight Crawford. Now the Ugas fight makes sense. Win it. So I'll say this, Chad. Like, you remember the time when Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao was on stage, and Manny Pacquiao was coming out of his hibernation period of being in recess, which he never even met the requirements to be on recess. So they took a picture as if Manny Pacquiao was still the WBA champion. So they was trying to sell it to the naive viewers as if it was still the WBA super. You know, like, still he was in ownership, and it wasn't. And then, of course, we all know the shit imploded after that. Spence situation, some video leaked, and then all of a sudden he comes with an eye injury, and they totally switched the script. That's boxing for you. Just like he said, all a money game, always a business first. Just like people don't really look at how much guaranteed money Crawford was getting outside of Spence. They will always say Spence put more butts in the seats, but they don't never check to see who was getting paid what and what the reality of the numbers are really like when it comes down to the paychecks. It's a lot of people don't even know how the structure is per promotion. When you say Top Rank, you get Bob Arum. When you say PBC, people don't know what to think. Al Heyman is not a promoter. They don't know what the fucking thing. So since they're clueless about how the structure is formed, the format of the PBC, they just gets in the air. Al Heyman. LeBron James, Al Heyman. That's what they say over and over again because they don't know how the structure is over there. They don't know how the shit is structured, how Al Heyman got shit popping, how he's able to, you know, how's the format for his fighters to get paid, how he go about setting things up. Al Heyman is not a promoter. Now he may indeed be attached to those who are frontmen and hold the position indirectly without being legally sued. I wouldn't say, you know, I'm telling you what I know. Like, I'm not saying that may not be the case, but so far he's able to hold his position, and he's still playing a very intricate role with being paid. He's getting paid by the networks who support PBC. So since he's going to get his money regardless, the way he's delegating his other fighters is very complex. It's nothing like Top Rank. Nothing like it, bro. Ghost on deck. What it do, bro? Bruce Seldon, how did he face his family after that one? You tell me, Napoleon. Like, goddamn. It's like, did the tip of the lace hit you, Bruce? Shit. Did the tip of the lace hit you? We didn't see shit, Bruce. You ain't invited to the damn family dinner this year. Fuck that. You took a dive. Don Dada on deck. What it do, bro? Errol Spence even said he would never fight Keith Thurman. Opened up. You see, Don Dada, this is where it comes into play with the Spence puppeteers. And I know a lot of them was tuned in until I really started going in on Spence. They just, I'm going to step out here on the outside, man. I ain't got time for this. This is my holiday. But check this out, though. They will sit up here and reverse it. back to when Spence was calling out Thurman. So now, once again, we get back to the juvenility of it. They would say, oh, he didn't give him the opportunity. So what Errol Spence is doing is just returning the favor. But guess what? We didn't say that Thurman wasn't a duck. It's not like we didn't say Thurman wasn't ducking Errol Spence. But see how Thurman can kind of clear all that confusion is he was really injured. Thurman was really injured. And then when he was out for one injury, he ended up finding out he had another injury. So that can kind of clear his status when it comes to the Duckmaster Coalition. But for Spence, he just straight up saying he wasn't going to fight him. Spence going to do boots like Thurman did Spence, open ducks. Man, if you dare try to place boots in the conversation of Errol Spence, bro. If you ever had a moment where Spence was able to get the titles, let's just say he picked up the WBA. I'm just giving a basic scenario. He picked up 3 titles. And let's just say somehow Terrence Crawford was injured, just like Thurman. He was out. Do you understand that the thumbnail community will go berserk? These motherfuckers will get up here and say, strip him. Boots. It's Boots' turn. Boots. Get Crawford out of there. Give Boots the position. Elevate him. So we'll be like, Boots, get the email. You have mail. They'll be like, yes, Crawford ducked him. Boots is finally the champion. And these motherfuckers around here in the street like it was the riots during the pandemic, y'all. I mean, not during the pandemic, during the George Floyd protests. Real talk. People be running around here breaking shit on purpose. Boots is champion. But he got it via email. Shut the fuck up. I'll kill your ass, man. Boots is the champion. He did everything to work himself up into the ranking system the right way. And then Crawford, he's fragile and he's old. And you know what? It was about time for him to get injured. Now they goddamn sent Boots the email. Don't get mad at Boots. They did Ugas the same way. I'm telling you, bro. These motherfuckers will be insane up here. They'll be calling Bozy, can we get an interview? We flying up there. We want to interview him first. Oh my God. These motherfuckers would be goddamn turned on, dog. They be getting chill bumps and shit. Motherfuckers be canceling their barbershop appointment. Fuck that. I get my hair cut later. I'm trying to get this interview with Boots. He's a WBO champion. Damn. Go says something in the Charlo's water. They on crack. They complain about a fight which was never signed ever. Man, I know, man. Like I said, I think it's extremely childish, bro. Keith did rub Errol and everybody else wrong. So Spence said, F it. Spence did the same thing to Bud. So Bud said the same thing. I'm moving on, not chasing somebody that's gonna do this, that don't want the smoke. and on top of that, Napoleon, it comes down to, Bud Crawford showed up at Errol Spence fights and they told him not to get in the ring. He couldn't get in the ring. Bud showed up, but they only remember when Errol Spence showed up to Bud fight, and they try to put that same narrative like he was told he couldn't get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He the one said he'd never show up, but he did. Bud gave us what we was looking for. He said, hey, I'm trying to make the fight. I'm going to be there. He didn't make a big scene about it. The cameras panned over. Boom. Terrence Bud Crawford, WBO welterweight world champions in the building, people. He wasn't over there getting crazy. But Errol Spence really didn't give him that shine to say, yeah. Like Errol Spence is damn near hopping through the ropes to get to Sean Porter to try to get the next fight. And he was intoxicated. Bad look, man. Bad look. But for what Ghost said, bro, I'm trying not to put crack with the brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to put crack with them, bro. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just trying to not put them out on crack, because them mother lose their mind, dog. You saw what happened there, Ghost. You saw what happened, man, with Adrian Brown and Gervonta Davis that day. When Mar Charlo had a fight and Mel was back there going off because I guess he got mad. I'm not going to repeat it, but he got mad at what he believed to be said by Adrian Brown and Gervonta. He was upset. He was irate at that moment, bro. His brother was freaking waiting to weigh in, and he was back there yelling and cussing and using all types of obscenities, bro. Chad, I said 4 years ago, boxing and PBC gonna try to age this line out. Stall. Hey, like it was said earlier, if we don't get this shit in 22, if we don't hear any word by June, I would give it June, bro. Because Keith Thurman is supposed to step in the ring, all right, in February. And then we have Errol Spence and Udenis Ugas around March or April. Like I said, I'm telling you, they have to see if Errol Spence will make it through fight camp. If he start getting touched up by sparring partners, Derrick James ain't gonna, man, he'll be a fool to let him go out there and get his ass whooped by Ugas. His paycheck is done. His creme de la creme, his moment is done. Crawford will be able to soak all that shit up with Ugas. So, more than likely, he won't even let him go out there. Exactly. Sad shit. Crawford already 35. Yeah, he's going to be 35. He's 34 years old, but damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like Roy said, I haven't seen Spence fight an elite fighter, but they run with the heavy lifting narrative. Yeah, okay. Hey, talk your shit, dog. Napoleon, goddamn. See, you know what, y'all Spence puppeteers, y'all better goddamn send all that damn heat Napoleon's way, because he talking some real shit, dog. And y'all don't go out there and try to think you're gonna get on the Hall of Famer. Roy, they lost their mind. You check my interview that I did when I was in Augusta when Roy was down here. I asked him about why people were so upset about what he said about Spence. And he said people took it the wrong way. All he was saying, he need to see Spence fight somebody that's top tier, quality, top ranked fighter that's gonna fight back and is recognized as that guy. He didn't think it was anybody that has done it. So if Roy Jones, a legend, is saying this, and then we have the YTC up here vilifying the man for it, how much respect do you have for boxing? Roy was just giving you his opinion. We're talking about someone who was a commentator on HBO, and people love to hear his commentating. His commentary. They loved it. He was just telling you the facts about Spence. I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him to fight somebody. Okay, now he's fighting Sean Porter. Okay. Boom. Fight was over. He beat Sean Porter. But still, at the end of the day, he still give homage. He paid homage to Terrence Crawford, being a better fighter out of Spence. The YTC has to understand, yeah, I was there for that. Check out the interview. He said, Bud Crawford's that dog. Errol Spence ain't beat Bud Crawford. Roy Jones, the legend himself, Hall of Famer, said that shit. And the YTC just wanted to destroy the man. Well, good luck with that, dog. Hey, I'm gonna tell you point blank. Don't try to come at Roy Jones. Think you're gonna get on his property. First of all, you ain't gonna be able to find that motherfucker. First of all, so if you do find it, Good luck with making it up to the house before you get your ass eaten alive. Believe me, I know, goddammit. Try to jump that fence if you want. When you hear that, hey, you better goddamn put on some Carl Lewis damn YouTube videos. You better find you some blocks in that motherfucker. Cause you about to get your ass ate by some cane courses. Big Demon on deck. What's good? Haven't seen you over here. But salute to you. Man, shout out to my man Showtime. Sauce Talk. Shalom in the building. Man, shout out to my guy, man. A real one over there. Be sure to subscribe to his channel, Showtime. Man, drop your link in here to your channel there, Showtime. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the underground kings and up there doing his thing behind the scenes too, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the one that's behind the scenes and shit. Making shit pop when the curtains are closed. Shout out to Jahad Tucker. Jahad Tucker has a fight coming up next month on the 15th. You know what I'm saying? My boy Shalom had a big deal with playing a role in that. And he actually told me on the interview, you know, he gave a shout out to that. Getting him signed with Jay Prince and Top Rank. You know, so Jahad Tucker is 5-0 right now. So yeah, man. Show homage to Showtime that's in the building. He had a huge role to play with that, bro. A huge role to play with that. And not only that, you don't want to get in the story behind what Jahad Tucker had to go through to be convinced to get signed, to convince Jay Prince to sign him. That's a whole nother story. He did call EJ a boy. He did, bro. He said, I seen that young boy. I said, boy, damn, that's disrespectful. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? They just want to spin the boots conversation as if Crawford is ducking. I know, man. Every other day I have to listen to a panel full of Spence puppeteers, you know, come up with new narrative pushing, bias ass motherfucking shit to put out here to the YTC, man. It's a catastrophe. For real. It's a catastrophe. It's like trying to fly a one-wing airplane, goddammit. Shit just keep on spinning and spinning. They say, damn, it's enough horsepower. Shit's just all fucked up from the start. They had to pay step-aside money to Ugas mandatory. Yes, man, why not? If you really want that strap, pay step-aside money. You know, Stanthionis is feeling real good right now. He's feeling real good. That's going to be a problem for any undisputed talk in the future. Let me do this too. I always like putting a link out there. Hold up. For whoever you might be, I'm not sure who that for, but you can always click the link if you have something to say. Yeah, you can be a Spence fan, it don't matter, but the link is out there. I got time. I got time today, especially bringing in the New Year's. I got time. I told you I'm a grown man. I really don't speak with emojis. If it's not for me, cool. But you come in here putting that in there. You might be somebody that I know from another channel. I can definitely find that out if you click the link. So give me some home cooking. Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Thurman Steele is ducking. Look at him fighting Barrios on PPV. I'm not mad at Thurman taking, you know, for the amount of time he's been out the sport to return to face Barrios. Why not, bro? Why not, man? Spence fought a lightweight. What's wrong with goddamn Thurman fighting a freaking junior welterweight? Super lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why calling out Canelo for cherry picking? Well, Canelo's doing what Canelo wants to do. It was a point in time where they called Danny Garcia a cherry picker too. But yet they say, Danny Garcia when it came to Errol Spence. Look at his resume. But a lot of people saying Danny Garcia's a cherry picker. I don't agree with the damn clan and all that shit. I'm not getting into that. But for me as a person, if I was able to be at a point where I'm making decisions and doing what the fuck I want like Canelo, I would be highly satisfied that I'm in that position, especially in a so-called sport that is ran in a system, a chaotic system, a disorganized, corrupt system. And he's able to make the decision and make millions doing it. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, you got to wake up. Like, Canelo's pretty much doing what he wants to do. A lot of boxers would like to be in that position, dog. That's all I'm saying. Dundallah say no one talks about Ugas being number one 3 years ago, and somehow Ocampos was made the mandatory. See, when I mentioned Ocampo, they was talking about Ocampo was the mandatory. Jose Benavidez was the volunteer. Listen, I tried to tell them they're Dundallah. I tried to. You know, so I don't give out all the information and shit, dog. I just don't give it all up. I don't have time because, you know, a lot of these cats are not gonna respect it. But appreciate Dundallah for dropping the jewel and shit. They went and reached down and got Carlos Ocampo from goddamn Bojangles bucket. No one knew who the fuck Ocampo was. Look, Spence, it was so many black fight fans in the building that night that you would have thought Ocampo was just walking to the ring as a trainer. If he didn't have on gloves, people were like, oh, that's his opponent? Oh, okay. All right, cool. That's his opponent. All right. And then Yellow Beezy and Spence walks out. Oh, that's Spence's opponent. Okay. It's on me, baby. It's on me. I don't sleep. I mean, they would have thought Carlos Ocampo was just a trainer and shit. Just walking to the ring. And then the crowd got hyped. You know, Yellow Beezy in the building. Errol Spence. That's the one and only time that Correa was able to walk out with his glorified idol at that time. Hilarious, dog. His one and only time to walk out with him. My dad taught me that when you point a finger, you always have 4 pointing back. Hey, down here in the South, we was talking about, you know, the fingers actually looking different. The index fingers is damn operating in a different direction than the rest of them. Shit. All these motherfuckers is popping up in here. Don't make any sense, dog. Nah, dog. That's you, Bruce. People been changing up. I guess they're getting ready for 22 though. I saw Retro Boxing coming here. He has changed up. Bruce Goes. If that's you, OG. Salute to you, man. He's Bruce Goes Boxing, Jazz, and more. All right. That's what's up. Some people be trolling, so I don't know, man. Dundallah said, and now Spence fanatics want Crawford to not take a fight because it will mess up the timetable to make the fight. Shake my head. They could have made the fight instead of Ugas. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they want him to fight Boots. Where did you hear that? Let me know where you heard that at. That they don't. And now Spence fanatics want Crawford to not take a fight. I thought they was trying to. Definitely, they wanted him to take a fight with Boots. You know, you can't say Crawford name right now without Boots and Spence being attached to it like an umbilical cord. Where you hear that at, Dundallah? Like you hear that today or what? Because that's new. But shout out to Bruce Goes on deck, man. Why pay extra step aside money when you could have just made the T-Bud fight while the WBA sorting itself out? I can just put it to you this way, Don Dada, when it comes down to why he wouldn't have took that risk. Like I say before, he wants to believe that he needs to maximize his leverage heading into that Crawford fight. Because Crawford, whoever he chooses to, advocate for him, he's not going to just take anything. So it's just like learning your ABCs. They say, hey, you need to learn your ABCs, not knowing. Look, you just said the first 3 letters of the alphabet, ABC. So with Errol Spence going over there to Crawford, it's almost like it's ABC to him, and he believes he's doing something nobody else has done. So he want to go over there and maximize his percentage and talk about some 70-30 bullshit just because he has ABC. And people up here acting like ABC is something amazing and spectacular. He does all the heavy lifting. Now, ABC is turned into motherfucking 45-pound damn plates and shit. It's almost like you bench pressing for the first time. People acting like ABC is heavy lifting, dog. All because that's how much fanboyism that people don't want to admit to. If you hear a fighter like Spence say, I'm doing all the heavy lifting or whatever, and you latch on to that and all you pushing on the panels is heavy lifting, you just heard another grown man that's not your mentor. He's not a family member. He's not nobody. You heard him say some basic ass shit and you ran to it. He said heavy lifting. Boom, thumbnail, heavy lifting. Crawford is being selfish because Spence doing all the heavy lifting. Fuck it. Just take the damn 70-30, man. Goddamn, Spence doing all the heavy lifting, dog. That's all you hearing on this motherfucker. Heavy lifting. Wow. What a motherfucking word, dog. How heavy is the titles? Just 2 titles. I mean, when Thurman had the damn WBC and WBA, y'all, we didn't hear no bullshit ass heavy lifting. We never heard that shit, did you? We never heard no bullshit ass heavy lifting, dog. We never heard that. But we're in a different era right now of social media. Like, you have so many individuals that's just peeking through the window trying to see what other people are doing. They're building up groups, and every so often, they just look and see who's doing more than the other, who's the leader, and then they try to sometime emulate. You know what I'm saying? They always say you want to be something in life where you set the examples for others to emulate. That's what the social media's game is about right now. That's what the social media game is like. They hear heavy lifting and they run with it. Every fucking panel. Spence is doing the heavy lifting, dog. He just has one more title. So he said he has more titles. So I'm like, does he have more titles? Because if we want to break this shit down to basic grade school shit, 1 subtract 2 leaves 1. So does he truly has more titles, or does he have 1 more title? Because he only has 2 freaking titles. How heavy could the lifting be? You're speaking this shit into existence, and he hasn't even stepped in there with Udinas Ugas yet. You're trying to say, oh, he already got the belt. He doing all the heavy lifting. So fucking what? Where was Spence to carry those damn undisputed titles at 140 for Crawford? Why wasn't he there doing the heavy lifting to help Crawford carry those titles? I'm pretty sure Spence Puppeteers has been by Crawford window and trying to get a peek and a snapshot of those titles in his house. I know you have, because your boy would never be in that position. And it's fucked up too. It's fucked up for me to even say some shit like that. But I don't see Spence being undisputed at any division. I don't see it. Okay, Bruce say that's him. All right, for sure, bro. OG on deck, man. Appreciate you pulling up there, Bruce. I didn't quite know. Y'all check out Bruce. Bruce goes boxing, jazz, and more. That's switching it up. I like jazz too. I meant they don't want Crawford to wait for Thurman or a Josh Taylor fight. I agree. That I have heard. Because though, put it this way, for him to be two-time undisputed at 140, yes, it will be something that's an addition to his Hall of Fame career, right? All right, it'll look good. But it'll look even better, in my opinion. He's at a point right now, he can make his own decisions. They can't sit up here and say, oh, Canelo's did this, this, and this. Last time I checked, Canelo has one more division than Crawford. Last time I checked, Canelo only has one more division than Crawford. Canelo and Crawford both have an undisputed division to their resume. That's very factual. So at this point in time, Crawford can make the decisions. He can be patient. He cannot rush it. If he wants to fight Thurman after he get out of the ring with Barrios mid-year and then potentially squeeze in, all you need is like 8 weeks, right? And squeeze in the Errol Spence fight at the end of 22, cool, we'll do that. But don't sit up here and act like the dude has to conform to your demands and orders. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to fight Boots Ennis just because Boots. Tell Boots them, hey, Cameron Duncan is his manager. What is a manager's responsibility? And shout out to Cameron Duncan. No disrespect to Cameron Duncan. You know, talked to him on the phone before. No disrespect to Cameron Duncan. But Cameron Duncan understands. He has a slew of fighters. He understands, you know, hey, find a man to fight. Find him a fight. Bozy told y'all. He understands the politics. It's y'all that don't want to sit up here and understand what he's talking about. He said he understands the sport as a business. So what's the hype all about, dog? I be who I be, man. What's good? On deck, salute. He said Spence gonna redline Ugas. I don't think so there, IB. For real, I don't think so, bro. Cause look at his other fights, man. Like, who has he did that to? Who has he did that to? Vincent on deck, man. Who has he did that to? He wasn't able to stop. He wasn't even able to stop Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? And Ugas went the distance with Sean Porter, and he was fresh. Like, you couldn't tell him shit. He was fresh. He said, I'm good. So how all of a sudden, you know, Spencer's gonna come in here from an eye injury, and he's gonna damn wreck Yordenis Ugas. I just don't see it happening, man. I think at the end of the day, for one, like I said earlier, I said that Spence may not make it to the Ugas fight because he's a fragile human being right now. I believe he has underlying issues from the car accident. Number two, it's not an easy, you know, let's just say it's automatic type of fight. This is going to be very stressful for a lot of people. It's going to be suspense and intrigue in this fight because they really not sure if Spence can go in here and make easy work of Ugas. They're not sure. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure he can either. Because I've seen him go the Danny Garcias, the Mikey Garcias, the Sean Porters. You know, he didn't make easy work of them. Ugas a totally different boxer, bro. Ugas and Danny Garcia's style isn't the same. And I think Ugas is tired of the disrespect too. I think he's tired of the disrespect. Teach on deck. What's good with you, bro? Dundada said, in terms of legacy, Josh Taylor versus Crawford 2, undefeated, undisputed champs is just as big a fight as Spence. I can't disagree with you on that, dog. I don't know, dog, cause Spence has a lot of puppeteers that support him. I don't know, man. I can't wholeheartedly 100% disagree with you on that. I mean, agree with you on that, but it's not much I can disagree with because he's fighting for something. He's fighting for another prestigious championship fight, undisputed, in a division where he has already conquered that. So for him to step in there with Josh Taylor, 4-belt era, no franchise, goddamn it. Yeah, it'll be just as big as Bud Spence to a point. You know what I'm saying? But Dondada, you have to understand, man. We've been talking about this shit into the wee hours of the fucking night, year after year after year after year. You know how many cartons of cigarettes these cats have smoked? You know how many damn bags that they smoked talking about Errol Spence and Bud Crawford? Do you? Do you know how many, what the budget is on cigarettes from talking year after year after year after year, man, smoking that shit, only not to get the fight, going through the pandemic? Man, that's just crazy. Ocampos was the last guy Spence stopped, and they wanted to talk about Thurman not stopping no one in years. Talk that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's real right there, man. That's real. I guess it feels good for the casual conversation to say, "Oh, Spence gonna go in here and stop Ugas." I'm like, dude, man, look at this fight though. Why do y'all consider that hashtag man down to be credible? That shit is eggshells right now. There's nothing solid about it. It's eggshells, bro. Who is he stopping? Mikey Garcia left the ring and said, "Hey, I'm just gonna go get a shower. We headed out, get something to eat. I feel great." Not to say Danny Garcia didn't look fucked up, but Danny Garcia is a counterpuncher. Too many times he just sit and wait, and he looked fucked up. But Sean Porter, he got up out of there just fine. You know what I'm saying? He got up out of there just fine. But how all of a sudden you're gonna go to Yadina's Ugas and you got this TNT? Nah, bro. You have as much power as you're gonna have there, Spence. You in your 30s now. You know what I'm saying? You in your 30s. The amount of power that he has is what he's gonna have throughout. That's it. His power is peaked. It's just all down his boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? How he breaks down his opponent, how he implements his offensive strategy. That's pretty much the importance of it. But good point there, Dundada. Good point, bro. But I don't want anybody to take this thumbnail the wrong way. I just want you to take it for the purpose I put it up there. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all just, they filming right now. They filming on this thumbnail, because they feel that, I put a collective group of people out there to laugh at Spence. You know what I'm saying? I put man up. I truly believe in the hashtag. He need to man up and stop talking about 70-30 and having the people believe just because Terrence Crawford is pretty much standing here square for the right reason. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a fighter who was making more than Errol Spence. They was just making it seem like, oh, well, Bob Arum said this. You don't understand the true reason on what he meant by that. Maybe on a panel, depending on who on there, I can break the shit down because I know people be eavesdropping this shit. People have the wrong idea as to what Bob meant about he lost enough money to buy a home in Beverly Hills with Crawford. I understand what the resistance came back from the YTC, but a lot of motherfuckers at the YTC was absolutely wrong about why Bob said what he did. Said what he said. They don't know. They don't have a clue. Now, as I get ready to close this out, right? I don't know if y'all read the shit about the WBC purse split. 80% for Tyson Fury, 20% for Dillian White. Woo-wee! Shit, boy. God damn. The WBC revealed that the purse split for Tyson Fury versus Dillian White will be 80-20 in favor of champion Fury on Thursday. If no deal is reached during the negotiation, a purse bid will take place on January 11th. There's not much time for Fury and White promoters to iron a deal before the purse bid on January 11th. And it'll be surprising if they put much effort into it. I'm not getting into the whole article because this live isn't about that. But goddamn Dillian, all that shit he was talking about Wilder, and you go into a championship fight, dog, and you sitting on 20? God damn. They said Josh Taylor option for Terrence Crawford in early 20. Take that fight, Crawford. You don't need Spence for your legacy. Do what the fuck you want to do, Terrence. As always, you a grown-ass fucking man. You the head of your household. If you want to further add on to your badges, go down there and fight Josh Taylor, goddammit. It's not going to change anything at welterweight because we don't know what the fuck is going on. And look, Ryan Garcia wanted George Kambosos opponent. Yeah, I know your entitled ass would want a motherfucking shot at George Kambosos like you can just swoop in and make your own decisions and shit and get a damn fight for undisputed with George Kambosos. Fuck that. Fight Isak Cruz. Get to Isak Cruz. Do something nobody's been able to do as of yet. Stop him. If you want to get us on a little bit on your side, Ryan, go up there and stop Isak Cruz. Then I might goddamn raise an eyebrow like The Rock and say, oh shit. Okay, Ryan Garcia must have took that time off. He's serious now. He went in there and stopped Cruz. Okay, cool. But besides that, man, get out of here. Salute to the boxing queen herself, the one and only Destiny Black in the building, y'all. Said Spence was the most popular nigga on planet Earth. I have to continue to use that. Thank you for the donation, Queen. Appreciate you. Appreciate you pulling up. And y'all better enjoy this time where she's just stopping on panels. Cause I swear if Destiny ever get her boxing channel, god damn. She gonna have a goddamn gang load of dudes in the live chat. Destiny. Let me get on your panel. Destiny. It's Destiny. Shit. That might be something you want to talk about, Destiny. Starting your own channel up every now and then, once a week. Dundada said ESPN gives them a budget so that they really lose money. Okay. They did, but not the way it's being how you put it, not the way it's being relayed out to the general public for their perception to just grab onto it like, oh well, Crawford wasn't doing numbers. So Crawford doing decent numbers, y'all, for when you're talking about putting butts in the seats too. Like the one thing I was playing around with, and I do sometimes do this. Like I was actually, saying, hey, I wanted somebody to correct me. Like I was saying that Spence fought at the AT&T Stadium. People sit up here and say he fought at the actual stadium. And I'm saying, well, do your research. Just do your research. Did he? Or did he fight at the sublet of the AT&T Stadium? If Ryan nabs that Kambosos fight, that would be hilarious. I think he stops Cruz though. For real? I don't know, man. The way he was loading up on that lead left hook, right? I don't know if he'll stop Cruz because we didn't really see uppercuts in that fight against Luke Campbell. It was just Luke Campbell backed up into the motherfucking ropes and said, okay, it's your moment. Go ahead and close it out. Just like goddamn Jake Paul and Willie and all that shit. Like slow ass Luke Campbell was slipping underneath that damn left hook, man. Easy. Easy, bro. So when Ryan Garcia was caught, dude was damn on his shoulder. His knockout of Luke Campbell wasn't a natural result like Luke Campbell when he knocked down Ryan Garcia. It wasn't a natural action that we seen play out from the punch to the impact to the result to him being knocked down. It wasn't natural. Like Luke Campbell backed up to the motherfucking ropes and acted like he just all of a sudden became scared. Not the same Luke Campbell who was knocked down by Lomachenko and stood up and finished the fight. Nope, we didn't see that Luke Campbell. All of a sudden, he's freaking afraid for his life, backing up against the ropes, so Ryan Garcia can go in there and just have the closing moment. I was fucked up, dog. Destiny said Crawford was the biggest draw for Top Rank. Indeed, man, he got paid handsomely too, more than what people think. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some channels say it on how much Crawford was getting, but I'm gonna save it to whenever I pop up on another panel because I truly want to. Like I always hear the butts in the seats type shit, but guarantee money. Crawford was getting a nice chunk of guaranteed money, dog. It's a formula for a non-PPV fighter and a PPV fighter. It's a formula when it comes to your monetary revenue. It's a formula. Many people don't know that formula because they just look at it from the outside looking in and say, well, it wasn't PPV, so he ain't getting paid shit. That's not true. A perfect example, without going to deep detail, all you have to do is look at Teofimo Lopez when he stepped in there with Lomachenko. A non-pay-per-view fighter versus a pay-per-view fighter. All you have to do is look at at Teo when he was getting 1.2 and he negotiated the 2. You can read in between the lines to see what I'm talking about. At the formula that boxing has for a non-pay-per-view fighter versus a pay-per-view fighter. And then it will give you some clarity on Terrence Crawford. That clarity will be coming in the form of Bob Arum say he lost enough money to buy a house in Beverly Hills. If you can put that whole entire kaleidoscope together, you would get the picture that you want. Real talk. Bud do the best numbers on Top Rank. And then shout out to Ron Harris, man. Salute to you. He also packed every venue he fight at. And see, another thing what Harris is talking about, right? It's something that people refuse to acknowledge. That when Bud Crawford fights, what are the numbers when it comes to putting butts in the seats? What are the qualifying numbers to say it was successful? And what he just said, a lot of people are not going to look at that in a credible manner because they don't know how deep to go. But when they want to say, "Oh, so and so selling out 30,000," how do you know that? Is a lot of seats. See, this is shit I just don't get in all the time. If you're a fighter outside of PPV and you're doing 15,000, maybe about 2 or 3 fights, people they're gonna say, "Hey, we need to go ahead and put this person on PPV." But if you barely got them clearing 7,000, 8,000 seats, they're gonna have a little damn dilemma there. They're gonna say, "Nah, let's hold off." But if you like Crawford selling like 10, 15,000, you know what I'm saying, on up. Of course, when it comes to pay-per-view, now the structure's different. Al Heyman's PPV, the way he pay his fighters out, is different than Bob Arum. It's two different entities, y'all. It's two different entities. You have no idea the way Al Heyman receives his money from the networks and what Bob have to go through with ESPN. Totally two different formulas we're talking about. Hold on for a second. They just act like Spence doing Floyd or Canelo numbers. How much revenue is the fight really going to make? That's a good point. See, they can say what they want about butts in the seats, right? But they truly don't know the front end money that Spence is getting and how the formula is set up with Al Heyman on how they pay their fighters on the PPV side of it. All right. It's wild the way it is, though. It's wild. Totally different than Top Rank. The entire structure of PBC, y'all might want to step over to Fred and listen to what he has to say about the PBC, because though it is harsh, Fred dropping some gems over that motherfucker, dog. Shout out to Fred Hawthorne over Barbershop Conversation. I'm telling you, it's deep. This is shit I know too, but this is not the live for it. I would say check out his live, because he really basically spoke on it strictly for that live. Overpricing yourself is the new way of ducking. It is, man. I was saying that, Destiny. I was saying that if Errol Spence comes up out of this fight with Ugas talking 70-30, it's a duck. He don't want the fight. He don't want the fight, y'all. He gonna talk about this 70-30 shit. He don't want the fight. Bob is saying that because of Bud's contract. Bob had to pay Bud $1 million every time he didn't fight Spence. That's some smelling salt there, Teron. That's a smelling salt there. It's not all the way right, but it's a smelling salt. It's much more than that now. People don't know that even with Crawford not being on the PPV, he was getting paid more than an average fighter that's not a PPV fighter at that level. That's where the separation comes into. Bud was getting money that PPV wasn't an option for Bob Arum to recoup, but contractually he was obligated to give Terrence Crawford the amount of money that was binding on that contract, which is much more than a fighter who wasn't doing PPV numbers. You're looking at these fighters having a set scale of revenue if you outside of PPV, unless you negotiate your contract. Teron had a good point right there. He made a good point. He made a good point, Shawty. Very true. That gets skipped over in the conversation. Good point. He close. Very close. And also the caveat to what Teron said, if you listen to what Crawford said when Bob Arum was on stage with him, if he couldn't get me to fight when I was with him, how is he supposed to get the fight when I'm not with him? Also, Teron just dropped a jewel on contractual agreements. He said Bob had to pay Bud $1 million. That's a portion of where I'm getting at with the guarantee money Bud was receiving from Bob Arum. So if it's not coming from PPV money, then who is paying that money? Who is paying that money? Who is paying that money? So you look at him not being able to recoup the money that's contractually agreed upon for Crawford, which is obviously above the $2 million non-PPV minimal. I mean, maximum almost 1 million, 1.52. You're not going to go too far over that on a consistent basis unless it's in the contract. But if he's unable to recoup that money that he's paying out to Crawford, wouldn't that be enough money that he's lost to buy a house in Beverly Hills? Absolutely. Because it's no structure that he was able to recoup the money on the back end from PPV. Crawford cost him money. But with that said, somebody negotiated beautifully. And that money, you can compare that shit to Spence's money too. People believe that Spencer's getting all this money. I'm telling you, the shit is different over there at PBC. All the smoke and mirrors. Go over there to Fred's show. Check the shit out, man. He's dropping some gems on y'all ass, man. Go to Barbershop Conversation and what he's been talking about. I'm telling you, bro. Bud topic is only topic I actually agree with Destiny. I know, right? Hey, when she got there go ham, when she went ham on that panel, I agree, bro. It was a full-blown arson in that motherfucker, dog. And the fellas got mad at me for talking about, you just boosting up, man. Stop trying to goddamn boost her head up. She already got a big mouth. Damn, dude. You giving her too much power, dog. But look, they know that shit got shut down, dog. She shut down that shit that day. Undoubtedly, you took the words right out of my mouth. Definitely a duck move. Correction, I'm at $1 million on top of his guarantee. Hey, like I said, you're close. The $1 million, that's a small. We're talking about his guarantee, to be honest. The guarantee is the huge portion of it when it exceeds the scale of revenue from a non-pay-per-view fighter. Like I go back to Teofimo Lopez. If it's free TV, and Tio is up here talking 4 million when it's top ranked, where's Bob gonna get that money from? Where's he gonna get the money from? It's free TV with Lomachenko. Where's he gonna get the money from? He just have to go off all the ticket sales and shit like that. If it's not PPV, how can you sit up here and give somebody 4 million and give Lomachenko 5 million? Where's that money coming from? That Beverly Hills house he's talking about. That's where it's coming from. That Beverly Hills house. So it's no way. The good thing what T.O. did was able to negotiate his 1.2 up to 2 mil, damn near. So hey, and that money did not come out of Lomachenko's pay. Hey, that's alive. Yes, like I said, Listen to the shit that Fred, it's been brewing for. I even have my own PBC story, but look, I'm media. I'm still trying to cover some fights over there. That's why I don't talk in depth. Fred is his own person, but he ain't bullshitting you. He dropping some gems over there. I have my own story with that shit. Real story that I experienced. I would say, drop in and listen to those videos he's been talking about with PBC. It's some real shit. It's some stuff that nobody even knows about, but yet they keep on talking these big numbers with Spence. Man, I'm telling you, people are owed money over there, y'all. They want to talk about Spence doing all that heavy lifting, and they want to worry about him putting butts in the seats, but they have no idea. I don't even talk about this shit because I say one of my main things is not putting my hands in another man's pocket. But I know people over there. I talk to people. I converse to improve the business of boxing. That's what I'm trying to learn more of, the business of boxing. And when you learn the business of boxing, especially on certain fighters, you can't relay it all out to the public. Now you becoming a messenger. And these are the same people, like, just say, for instance, if I want media, I'll be good to go. But since I'm media, I do have to be selective on the information I put out there. And then people can say what they want. I don't give a damn. They can come in here and say all about, he don't know. Man, please. Don't let me pull out the one receipt that'll hurt people's feelings. Don't make me do it. Don't make me pull out the one receipt. I'm not gonna do it right now, before 21. Just to prove my point with PBC, I have one receipt I could pull out that'll shut down everything. But I don't even like catering to the motherfucking naysayers all the time, dog. Destiny said, come back. Some of these channels are supposedly pro-black, but they bash the fuck out of Bud. Right? Talk your shit, Destiny. Bud have been giving charity to Africa and all the charities he do for poor kids in Omaha. I'm confused. I'm not confused, dog. I'm not confused, Destiny. Just like I'm not confused on the energy that you put in to goddamn burning that shit down. Because it will spark up a conversation like, oh, well, we need to support the black fighters. But then I say to myself, I guess Bud is too black. He's too dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Because in one sense, we're supposed to be supporting the black fighters, but we have two black fighters. One is more popular than the other. So now we have to sit up here and bully and talk shit about the dark-skinned fighter. That's what I see, bro. He's not as popular as Errol Spence, so we're gonna talk shit and dog him the fuck out. But this is their excuse, their Destiny. Their excuse is the reason why they talk so much shit about Bud is because his team members and family or something be in this Facebook group, or they very disrespectful. They be talking shit. So I'm saying to myself, are they talking shit just for general purpose? Or are they talking in retaliation to what they've been going through for years on this YTC shit, where people just talking reckless about their family? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just responding. We done heard y'all talk shit about my family and Bud, and you think we're not gonna say nothing? It is quite confusing, very distorted. I don't know what the pro-black channels mean exactly, because you dog out other black channels, some of y'all, viciously. You would go at another black channel hard. Like, majority of the media entities on this YouTube shit is black voices. So I'm not trying to get into February. I'll leave that to February. I don't want to start acting like I have a dream speech up this month. Maybe the black people unify mid-January, you know what I'm saying? And come together as one in February and You know how that goes. Disembark in March. We go back to where it used to be. Separated. Teron said, Destiny, them dudes make me not like Arrow because of how they was bad mouthing Bud. I'm serious, man. Like, listen, when you on a panel of a pro Bud puppeteers, you supposed to go hard in the paint, just like Destiny did that day. No break, no nothing. Sometimes you don't let a motherfucker get a word in. You burn the shit down all the way fuck down, dog. Because the shit becomes so biased that you saying to yourself, like, this is one thing I know for sure, right? Even though I've seen Destiny kicked off the channel, I myself has been put in the background too, or whatever. But check this out, though. A lot of people, they'll sit up here and debate in a channel only that they feel comfortable with the topic. If the topic is what they want, Arrow Spence, cool, they feel, but they won't go on another panel and click the link and really feel comfortable to talk their shit without being disrespectful, because they feel like they're going to get muted or put in the background. And I feel it's difficult. Like, if somebody comes on your shit and you got a panel and they're obviously, Bud Crawford fan, and majority of the panel is Spence. If it's enough of them on there, the host is getting what they want. So they're not going to really kick you off unless nobody can get a word in. They'll let you burn down the place if you're good. You have to come with some good shit, though. If you can burn it down, they might let that shit smoke out. Any final words, Destiny? Any final words? We about to close this out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like they be telling me, I don't go on all these panels trying to talk clearly and be correct on a lot of shit, because I already know it's not going to be received. They're not going to be receptive to what I'm saying. I may be dropping some good shit, and then they turn around and try to act like, well, what about this? I'm not trying to do that sometimes. They don't understand that. It depends on who's on the panel. You see the same motherfuckers on the panel all the time. You know the mood. I could be wrong, but I heard the Bud hate started with him not wanting to give interviews to certain channels. I might be talking too much. That's exactly what it is. But it's not just him giving interviews to certain channels. It goes back to him just not fucking with media, period. And I totally agree with him not fucking with media, because media is the same ones who stab you in the back if shit don't go right in your fight. Let's just say Bud was in a situation where he was giving all this love to the YTC, and Kavaloskis called him and they go over his, oh, he's overrated. Bud, like, he ain't that dude. He'll tell you to your face, nah, I ain't doing an interview. Nah, he'll take a picture, but he ain't doing no interview. Still to this day, if you get an interview from Bud Crawford, like, either you're a big channel that he trusts and his people done gave you the green light, or you ain't gonna get no, you're not gonna get no interview with him. And he gives good interviews, dog. I'm not gonna lie, I waited close to a year to get my first interview with Bud. I wasn't complaining about it because the man kept his word. And when he did decide to give me an interview, all these other people was taking out their cameras and shit. And I was just happy that he finally said, hey, man, I got you after this. And he had said that several times before. I was like, oh, he for real? And then he said, all right, let's go. Boom. When he said, let's go, it was on and popping. And he said, hey, all of you, I'm only giving the interview to him. That's it. Nobody else. He told him right up, only him. That's who I'm giving the interview. Nobody else. And he let me ask the questions, and I asked about Spence, and I asked all that shit. That interview did great numbers, man. I think it's sitting, I don't know how many numbers, how many views it did. It's in the thousands, man. It's in the thousands. But shout out to Bud Crawford, man, for the drop. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's kind of right, Don Dada. Like, Bud don't fuck with YouTube like that. Like, you'll see Bernie on here. Bernie will fuck around on YouTube, but you won't see Bud goddamn getting on this shit. Nah. Teron said, Don Dada, that's a fact. It might have been barbershop. No point joining a panel full of pro. Yeah, it is. It is, Don Dada. It is. It's a point. It's a point, man. You got to go into the battlefield. You got to go cross the lines, man. That's how you learn some shit, especially on this YouTube. Let's put it this way, Don Dada. If you fuck with a channel and you see some of the same faces on that channel and they're talking, you get familiarized with their language and what they're used to and their recall memory. They say the same shit all the fucking time. So when you get on the panel and you pretty much understand what your company is, your surroundings, you're going to get regurgitated information. It won't be hard for you to sit up there and debate with them because you know what everybody's going to fucking say. Now, this is where it becomes a problem, Don Dada. It's the fact when they start to act like everything that's coming out my mouth is wrong. That's when it becomes biased, petty. They want to just not listen to what you got to say. They want you to be a dummy. They want you to sit up here and give them credit for being right about Errol Spence. But you have to go to these panels that's pro Errol Spence fans if you are a Terrence Crawford fan, because you have to learn what the fuck they talking about. You can learn some shit from individuals that's not on the same playing field as you, like not in, don't support the same fighters you support. You can learn a lot from them. They always told us, always pay attention to the enemy. Don't ever neglect the enemy. Always pay attention to see what's going on. You can sit outside the live chat. You don't have to let them know you ain't even in the building, and you can just sit back, listen. People say the same shit all the time. And Destiny just have to be there when they regurgitated that. I done heard 1,000 times. And he just happened to slip up and say, I can tell you one thing, Errol Spence put more butts in the seats. It was the wrong time, wrong day, and the wrong company. Because to be honest with you, I haven't heard that shit since. I haven't heard that shit since, man. It was hilarious, dog. Then they have to audacity to say they're not biased, but their profile pic is a pic of Errol Spence. Now, this is what I don't like too, Dundada, is the fact that I don't like the demasculizing. Like, can't you? What is your whole point? If you're supporting black fighters, why create thumbnails and place them on the body of a female, or as if they're being violated by another male? That's what you never see that shit with my thumbnails. Like, I try not to damn cut faces out and create no damn create a picture for my audience, especially if it deals with the homosexuality of putting somebody in a predicament where they're being violated by another man. I don't see what that is proven to anybody when it comes to boxing talk. But I see a lot of that shit going on with Bud Crawford, though. Like, you want to put him on a thumbnail, Photoshop, in an inferior position, as if he's being violated. I don't agree with that. They actually don't have any factual information concerning Errol Spence. This why I want to be factual. Texas is huge. This is another inside thing I know, bro. They're going off hearsay, and Derrick James ain't telling them everything. Derrick James just went through that. This is what I don't get into also deeply. The shit that went on with Correa back in the day. The one individual before Derrick James really started tightening his ship, tighten down the perimeter and security. You had Correa in there being a full-blown hardcore Spence fan. But the problem that he had was discipline. He was filming shit that he wasn't supposed to film. He was doing shit that was against Derrick James' policy. And him and Derrick James didn't have a good rapport. When it came down to it, he slipped up and told one of them dudes he thought that was his friend. And they went back and snitched on him. And that's when he wasn't allowed in the gym no more. And the shit went down on IG where you seen Correa up there begging Spence to my, hey, fam, no, fam, I ain't say that, fam. Spence, fam, I ain't say that, fam. They lying on me, fam. No, bro. And look, I'll give you another receipt. I knew it was doomed. Because when I left the drive up there to the Carlos Ocampo Errol Spence fight, I was communicating with some dudes on Facebook. That's when I was like on Facebook majority of the time, writing articles and shit. And these dudes stopped calling me because I didn't check in with a certain individual. I say, nigga, me checking in, I just drove all the way up here 12 hours and I'm trying to watch a fight. This dude thought because I was in his because I was in his group that this nigga's I was gonna check in with him, y'all. That didn't happen. So these other two cats that was sitting nice and close, they had been promised the opportunity to go back in the dressing room and be able to see the champ himself and touch his belt. I'm not capping, y'all. This went down. This is the tales of the dark side when it comes to this media shit. These niggas wouldn't answer my call. None of that shit. Went to a restaurant. They say they was possibly going to this restaurant. I'm sitting there. I even had a drink. I say, shit. All right. I turn around. I don't hear shit from them. I turn around. All them niggas sitting back there next to Correa. Listen, I said to myself, yeah, I figured this shit out. That's pretty much what I thought. He has these niggas on the lock and key, dog. And me and him had our shit. I went to Texas though. Video. Nothing. All that talk, nothing. And I'm not even gonna mention the names of the nigga that told on Correa and what happened when I went to Texas and they thought they was gonna sit up there and go in there. I guess he invited them back in the dressing room to see Spence and hold the belt and shit. And the same one of the dudes went up there and snitched on Correa. What kind of shit is that, dog? Don't trust these dudes, dog. Be your own man. Lead from the front. That's real talk, dog. I'm telling you some real shit. He know who he is. I just thought that was some whole ass shit they did. These motherfuckers wouldn't even answer their phone. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? And then I get home, I get 3 niggas on the line, and they like, Correa said, hey man, why you come up to my city and you can't check in? I was like, nigga, I ain't checking in with nobody, dog. You didn't pay for my trip up there. What the fuck is wrong with you? Y'all niggas sitting in a restaurant at a table 20 feet behind me. Y'all see me and y'all didn't say shit. All right, cool. I got it. It's all good. It's all good, bro. That's just some holiday talk, man. That shit is real. That's factual. That shit is real. Like when that shit happened between him and Spence, that was the only one that got that close media-wise. He blew it. He fucking blew it. Sir Ken on deck. What's good? World Combat Sports. Salute to the wrenches. Salute to the chats. Smash the like button and happy new year to all. Real talk. Happy new year to you too there, Sir Ken. Appreciate you pulling up. I really, Destiny, you look him up. Ask anybody. I know Don Dada. I know plenty of people in this chat knows him. That's not even somebody I want to give that much energy to outside of what I just gave you. He's just a dude that was heavy on Facebook. that Errol Spence could do no wrong. Could do no wrong. Every time you see his Facebook Live, he talking about Errol Spence, Errol Spence, Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, over and over again, man. It just got to a point where he felt he was with a superstar, which he was. He was with Spence like he was the one on. And Spence even took up for him one time when ES News was trying to dog him a little bit. And he say, hey, you have your views and he has his views. I salute Spence for doing that shit because, you know what I'm saying? Correa was an outspoken, he's still outspoken individual. And a lot of people didn't like him. But when it came to Spence, he was the only media personnel that close to him. But him and Derrick James end up falling out, and he ended up saying some shit to the allegedly that he hopes Errol Spence lose so he can get rid of Derrick James type shit or something like that, quote unquote. And one of his boys that he was talking to that he thought he trusted, that he allowed to go back into the dressing room and shit, went and snitched on him. That's social media no one-on-one, bro. I've been all around these motherfucking streets in boxing, man. There's too many stories out there with some of these dudes that you only see on YouTube. You know, you didn't know the half when it was just Facebook. You know, the years start building up and people start, like, I didn't give a fuck about starting my channel on YouTube. And then it started blowing up. I was more so a Facebook person, post my shit on Facebook. But anyway, we'll talk about that a different day. I really don't have, you know, I really don't want to make this about him because he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, we have our history. He done said some shit behind my back. He's getting heat already, you know, from everybody else about this, that, and the other. It's not even something I have to talk about. Yeah, I will be whatever his initial, his acronym is. Destiny say, COP on deck again. You know, he was over here talking whatever yesterday. So I hear him out. I hear him out. I hear him out. I don't have no problem. He said that is cap. Crawford, no, he can't beat Spence. That is why he didn't take the 40-60 to fight him. Man, you're so late. I mean, you must have looked at my my replay or something. Bro, COP. What is cap? See, you behind. You actually believe it's 60-40. See, that's the difference between the contact I have and the window that you look through. You actually believe that the dilemma, the debate is 60-40. You actually believe that is the damn debate right now. When the debate is 70-30. The debate is 70-30, bro. I'm gonna say this again for the people to understand. Look, you can look at my views all you want, but I talk to people. I'm in my 50s, bro. I talk to people like grown man shit about the underbelly, the underside, the business side of boxing. I know the OG on Top Rank. I know OG in damn PBC. To be honest with you, I don't fuck with Golden Boy. I do know little sprinkles here and there with the zone. A little. I'm trying to build that shit up, but it's difficult because they want you to talk about their fighters and all this other shit. But know this. When I go to these motherfucking places, I ask questions for a reason. And I done had some conversations with people who was there from the inception of Al Heyman starting PBC that I've had conversations with that wouldn't do an interview. I got their number in my phone. I know the whole gang affiliation that was pushing that shit. I know the first person that got Floyd Mayweather on the scene. Al Heyman didn't even want to fuck with Floyd Mayweather. He didn't think he was anything special. Floyd had to talk to an OG, and the OG had to damn make shit happen for that to go over there to Al Heyman to get Floyd signed. That's me face to face talking to OG that was there from the inception. That's no cap. I don't have to prove shit to you. That's no cap right there. I just got off the phone with the top rank. I just call them OGs. They've been in the game for a long time and talking about some shit that's going on with top rank right now and everything. All the shit I found out about Crawford. Some of the shit I can just, put out there, but I got to save it. I can't just put it out all right now. I got to save it to the time where some shit got to play out first with Errol Spence and Ugas. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on, man. A lot, bro. These motherfuckers are talking on the phone. It's a lot that's going on behind the scenes. When you just come over here to the live chat and say, Cap, man, stop it. That's just another word people abuse the fuck out of. Just say LIE. Get straight to the point. Teron say COP. That was not a real saying. Destiny say Spence. Damn thing. Only person that can make an offer is Al Heyman. True. That's true. When it comes to people saying that Bud and Spence communicate this, that, and the other, listen, Bud still have management. What is the manager's responsibility? Their primary responsibility is to what? Negotiate deals, to find fights, to make money for their fighters. Why do you think I'm one of the only ones on here to have interview with Mr. Waters? I respect the hell out of him, man. I learned a lot off of David McWater. I've eaten lunch with him and everything. It's way deeper than all this. I ain't paying for no motherfucking YouTube views. I'm going off what I know up top, what I'm able to experience in life. Why do you think I'm the only one that sat down with David McWaters? I learned a lot off him, man. But Al Heyman is the grand poobah of PBC when it comes to him being an advisor, so-called consultant, manager, whatever he's doing. Al Heyman is not worried about the money he's making from the fighters. The money he's making from the network, take care of all that off the back. It's up to him on how he orchestrates everything else with the fighters and how they get paid. Why you think majority of the fighters that's with Al Heyman, sit up here and have their own promotional company? It's a reason for that shit. Look at it. Lines Only Promotion. Bomb Squad Promotion. The shit go on and on. There's a reason for that shit. Call Al Heyman. You're right? You know what I'm saying? They always say call Al. Look, it's not likely you got to get in touch with Al if you're not somebody of importance. It don't matter if you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to talk to somebody before you get to Al. Because Al is dealing with a lot of fighters over there. But like I said before, even with the way he has that set up, pay attention to what Fred is saying. Pay attention. If you don't have shit else to do tonight when I get off live, drop in for that live and pay attention. He's making some sense. He's dropping some gems, man. Destiny say, Combat, I hear Spence is not looking good doing training this fight. It's not going to be no cakewalk. I'm going to be honest with you, Destiny. I haven't heard that because I haven't been asking. But what I do know is, like I told the people earlier, that he has, let me word this correctly without putting it out there to act like these are my words, but from my understanding, his residual effect from the damage he received from the car accident hasn't absolved, you know what I'm saying, just diminished. It's still there in a way. And it may indeed, play out to the fact where they're trying to see how he look in his fight camp for Ugas to see if everything's okay. You saying to yourself, well, he went, to Danny Garcia. He fought with Danny Garcia. Yeah. But Danny Garcia was a type of opponent where he's a standing weight counterpuncher a lot of times. But with Ugas, you're not going to get the same activity. Ugas is going to be coming forward. He's a very disciplined, dynamic boxer. And Spence is coming off an eye injury. No telling how long he had the eye injury. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming off an eye injury, amongst other things that may be going on internally with Spence. I don't really care the videos they put out with him, always hugging his friends. And I don't give a damn about that. But we really need to pay attention to see if Spence can make it out of this training camp without an injury. Because they're going to be hard pressed and upset if he doesn't make it out this training camp and he's not able to step in the ring with Ugas. Then you may indeed have Terrence Crawford, who's not signed to a promotion, be able to scoop that fight up. Now, I don't know. I cannot disclose what the contract is. Privy to that. I'm not truly intuitive about the fine details of this contract between Errol Spence and Ugas. Like, if he's unable to fight, I don't know the details of how it goes out. Does Ugas have to wait? Or does Ugas owe him a fight? I don't know. Because at the end of the day, they sitting up here paying Stanthionis step aside money. Hey, it might be, Stanthionis that steps up, but I'm just saying, like, how boxing can manipulate shit. If Errol Spence falls out, automatically step aside money says what? Stanthionis should be next, right? Then you have to take a look at this. You have to take a look at Anthony Joshua's situation, Alexander Usyk. How Eddie Hearns then was just procrastinating and putting him off to the side, trying to get him that fight with Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold out. And then the arbitration concludes. Deontay Wilder getting a fight with Fury. He lost. But in the process, Anthony Joshua fought Alexander Usyk and lost. So they couldn't procrastinate no more because he had to fight Usyk after the arbitration concluded. And Tyson Fury had to fight Deontay. If Deontay Wilder wouldn't have won the arbitration, they would have made that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight. Then they would have had to probably more than likely pay Alexander Usyk step aside money. But the fact that he was the mandatory and they kept that man waiting like that, that's boxing. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. They can fuck over Stanthionis, who was paid step aside money. They can fuck him over and hold him and stall him out. Just like they fucked over Rungvisai. Rungvisai was the next man up for Juan Estrada. He won the title. They got them fucked him over and elevated him to the franchise champion. He didn't get no step aside money. Salute Coco on that. Spence is good now. What do you mean by that? Spence is good. What do you mean? It's just good for conversation? What are you talking about? I didn't think Spence looked great against Danny either. No, man. Destiny is lying about Spence. What's she lying about there, COP? What's she lying about? Look, if you saying she lying, just put it in the live chat. Make the conversation that much intuitive, man. Danny Garcia never got beat that bad. Errol Spence beat him to the bloody Pope. So what are we saying about a bloody Pope? Of course, like we never seen a fighter bleed. Like Danny Garcia may be degrading as a fighter. You know, it's many variables that could have happened with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, right, after this fight, was saying he was moving up to super welterweight. I'm gonna be honest. Danny Garcia wasn't in that fight to win. I'll say again, COP, just like I said about Chavez Jr., he wasn't in the fight to win. Just like I would say about Abner Yildirim, he wasn't in the fight to win because Billy Joe Sanders was next in line. So for Danny Garcia to go in there and get into a boxing match and take the punishment that he did, who knows what the fuck was going on with Danny Garcia? But you can't sit up here and say all of a sudden he beat Danny Garcia to a bloody pulp, but he didn't do it to Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia. That's just all talk. Who gives a fuck what he did to Danny Garcia? Danny go in there and get his ass kicked like that, as experienced as he is, that's his fault. What type of plan did they have? COP, you didn't see Lucas beat Danny then. Lucas Matisse, that was one of Danny's best performances, to be honest. Even though Lucas Matisse was giving it to him, Spence turned his back on Danny. Danny didn't even fight. Danny was in there to move around, man, and get a paycheck so he can make some more videos and continue to support his family. That's one man right there that never be the champion in welterweight, but goddamn it, he lived like a rock star, don't he? I ain't gonna lie to you. Danny Garcia, DSG, he lives like a rock star. For real. He's helping out his sister's singing career. The twins. Hey, man, it is what it is, dog. But how you know she lying, though? How do you know she lying about him looking bad in training? Let's just say, you have to substantiate. Like, how can you drop a source that she's lying? The only thing on this social media shit you could say is what you're doing right now. But since you said it, is there any receipts that you got? Is there any timestamps? Or you just think she's a biased Errol Spence naysayer, hater, or whatever? They say Porter is Spence leftovers, but they never bring up Danny and Porter being Thurman leftovers, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? There we go again. Don't spoon feed them all that shit, dog. Don't spoon feed them all that shit. I said the same thing. I say they don't want to give Thurman no respect, right? They never give Thurman the respect because he ignored the fuck out of Spence. So Spence agitators, they don't want to damn put in there what you just said about Danny Garcia and Sean Porter being Thurman leftovers, the same guy that Spence was trying to fight. But they'll sit up there and say Kell Brook and Sean Porter was Errol Spence leftovers. Well, no shit. You said you wanted him to fight a common opponent. Bud Crawford fought a common opponent twice, 2 of them. Well, that's not the same Kell Brook that fought Spence. You damn right, because the Kell Brook that fought Spence was still damaged from 160. You're right. Sean Porter, that wasn't the same Sean Porter that fought Errol Spence. You're right. They try to say that Sean Porter was old and outside his career, about to retire. Him and Terrence Crawford is 34 years old. What are we talking about? Y'all sit up here and glorify him stepping in there with Oleksandr Usyk in the AMs, but yet y'all was the same ones up there saying Terrence Crawford might get knocked out if he fight Sean Porter on the inside. Like, who has Sean Porter knocked out lately? This dude was going 12 rounds with the one and only Sebastian Formella. Like, all your endorphins are enacted when you hear Sebastian Formella. It's nothing harmful about that shit. Like, you don't think of pure all-out aggression, dog. He went 12 rounds with Sebastian Formella, dog. Sebastian Formella. And they turn around and say, well, Terrence Crawford, he might get knocked out by Sean Porter if he fight him on the inside. Come on. Adrian Granados went 12 rounds. Broner went 12 rounds and dropped Sean Porter in the 12. Bro, where's all this coming from, man? Destiny always hating on Spence. No, she don't. She ain't hating on Spence. She a Bud supporter. She's not hating on Spence at all. I think everything that the majority of the time the Destiny talk about when it comes to Spence is credible information. You know what I'm saying, COP? I think your issue is with her personally. And you, if you never met her in person, you shouldn't have no personal disdain for her. You should just listen to what she said. If you disagree, you disagree. But if you dislike her from another channel, that's kind of behavior that happens over in social media. People always falling motherfuckers to different channels and shit and dropping in the live chat. Hey, she's a Spence hater. No, she's just telling you how she feel about him. That's all. If you feel it's hate, it's hate. Say about Spence is correct. Don't be mad, shawty. Destiny is okay that you don't like Spence, but don't lie on dude. Hey, y'all can just let me know, COP. You can handle this right here, right now. I'll let you and her cook. Let COP cook with Destiny Black. I can drop the link for y'all and y'all only. Just put a Y in the chat if you want to do that. If you want the Destiny Black smoke and you feel that she's hating on Spence, I don't hear of you who you say you are. Click the link, bro. I'll let y'all have it. I ain't gonna mute nobody. Long as you keep it on boxing, and it ain't no, obscenities and derogatory terms and name calling and all that bullshit. COP, you good for the link? Because that's the only thing. Like I got shit to do too. We can stop all the home key, the chitter chatter with the fingertipping and shit, and just click the link, and then we can hear your voice, all that shit, and you and her can talk this out. Come on, COP. Don't hide behind the ghost account, bro. Let us know who you are there, COP. Don't hide behind the ghost account. I know you ain't gonna let Destiny put a Y in the damn chat and you ain't gonna respond. COP was saying, Killer, stop calling me a last. And so you know for a fact he's doing great in training. Hey, that's what the link is for, COP. All you have to do is click the link and you all can talk this out and have your own. I get an NI Destiny. I guess you done put another one on your damn your social media wreck. I guess you done earned another victory. For real. Because I'm not hearing nothing from Cop Killer. Oh my God, dog. Are you gonna put a Y in this bitch or not? I need overwhelming proof that Spencer's looking bad in camp. Then I would believe it. Other than that, I'm not buying it. So your defense to her is pretty much prefacing what you don't even have in defense of yourself. You don't know if she's not telling the truth. You don't know she's not telling the truth. You just automatically making a decision and saying, no, it's not true. Based off what? Your dislike for her. So how are you right? How are you to make the demand to say she needs overwhelming evidence when you have no evidence? You're basing it all off credulity yourself. That's having little or no evidence, but believing it's right. You're believing something right off little or no evidence. So in order for you to discount or denounce what she's saying, where are you? What is your preference? What are you preferencing? What is your source of preference that he's not having problems in fight camp? You just don't like the way it sounds, or you feel it's because you don't heard Destiny on other channels and you feel like she's a Spence hater. Like, what's your defense? Because if you don't have any source to defend yourself, then you're pretty much in the same boat. You're defending something that don't exist. You're just going off hearsay, just like you said she was. I don't like being called a liar for some info I was told. So there you go. She says she was given the info. Now, she can say she's giving the info, and then you can turn around and say, what? Who? That's not how this YouTube shit goes. She say she was given info. So then when it comes down to it, what? You gonna deny it? You gonna reject it because you truly don't know her source, or are you gonna provide something which is, I know, is be very difficult for you to do, because Derrick James has a close knit camp, unless you're talking to people that's dealing with PBC. You don't want to put that Y. You don't want that Y. COP. She making false allegations. That's a typical female behavior. Now you're just being stupid. Now you really need to click the link there, COP. Now you're sounding like some other individuals in the other chat talking about female behavior. Don't show your hand, because I be tuned into a lot of this shit. Doing behavior analysis, doing language analysis. God damn it, I've heard the shit before. They haven't released it in videos. I'm pretty sure that I can agree with. It's no look. The only videos they can release is Spence working out or something. No sparring videos are out. He have to be clear for his eye, just like he had to be clear for his teeth. So probably some videos of him working out. A lot of people can work out. You can be absolutely fucked up and work out. I'm pretty sure he's not sparring. It's no sparring videos. He's not even in fight camp yet like that. Sir Ken say, really though? Most of Spence fans are new to boxing. I can't say that. I can't say that because I told you, I was tuned in to see what Spence was about back in the day. Went to his fight, couple of his fights. Seeing the people supporting him over there in Texas. So I can't say they just started watching boxing. And we can say the same thing about the casual boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? We can say that there's a lot of casual boxing fans out here that only tune in when a big fight is coming up. That's the only time they tune in. But I doubt any sparring videos for sure, because he ain't sparring nobody right now. He ain't sparring nobody. Spence ain't sparring nobody right now. Believe that shit. So that's false. I know that. But COP, you want to click the link there, big dog? It's the holiday spirit. Give us the holiday spirit. Destiny, she might have a loud bark, but she's harmless, man. Come on, man. Like you said, that's female behavior, dog. You shouldn't be scared of no female behavior. Just click the link for a second, dog. That's all you got to do. Spence has been working out on the heavy bag and the speed bag. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's common. Come on, man. That's common training regime right there. That don't mean he in fight camp. It's boxers that go to the gym in between fights to stay tuned up, bro. Like, the heavy bag doesn't hit back. The speed bag is not even really a bag that you have to use in boxing. It's some trainers that don't even use a speed bag. So you telling me that it makes no sense. Now the heavy bag, yeah. Speed bag, every boxer don't use a speed bag. I believe every boxer use the heavy bag though. That's a fact. If you haven't seen Bud fight in 140 and think Postler and Ricky Burns was bums, then you wasn't watching boxing then. You gonna click the link or you just cool? Or you don't want to show, you don't want to give away your identity. You're going against a female though. You get to have a dialogue with a female. You said that's typical female behavior. So when you bring that into the narrative, then it becomes like you narcissist, narcissistic, like you're a male chauvinist. You know what I'm saying? So at least give her the opportunity to defend her female behavior on boxing topic. That's all I'm saying. COP, you're gonna let it ride. I get it. You're gonna let it ride. It's all good. Well, I appreciate it up, man. COP didn't want to click the link. We have to give another damn W. We have to give another W to Destiny Black. It was an opportune time for you to validate the female behavior, dog, and you choose to just sit on the sideline. It's just gonna be you and her, nobody else. I wasn't gonna let nobody else in this month. Just you and her. I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Happy holidays. I know we getting close. We getting close. Be safe out there. And don't get in no trouble and shit, man. I ain't trying to lecture y'all grown ass people. You know what I'm saying? But catch your Uber if you have to. God damn it, you gotta leave your car. You feel me? Before you pick up a DWI, DUI, god damn it. Catch your Uber in this bitch. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everyone that's pulled up today and listened to the topic. You saw the thumbnail, man. Y'all continue to pray for Errol Spence. He's in deep, deep trouble heading into this fight with Ugas. He may not make it out of fight camp. So if you're an Errol Spence puppeteer, continue to, work those strings correctly. Continue to goddamn sing the same chorus as always, and hope your boy has what it takes to get through your Dinas Ugas. Because, hey, for the undisputed with my boy Terrence Bud Crawford and your Dinas Ugas. I don't know what y'all will do. I really don't know. But until next time, man, y'all turn up and tune in to World Cup.